Let's get ready to rumble. Hello, everybody. I am Demetra K. I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, and it is the Demetra K show where we promote, yes, better than that wig you had on the other day. But anyway, this is the Demetra K show where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like I said, big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you just viewers, but you are family, and sometimes we share the link. Only thing that I ask is, if I've never seen you on here before, please show me your face if your profile looks like this. If it looks like this and I have never seen you before, please show me this. And then if you do not want to have your picture up, you can blank yourself back out before I bring you up to the big screen. Just know that nobody else can see you but me until I bring you up. Other thing that I ask is that we watch our language and things like that. As you guys know, on these platforms, we can't say any and everything we want. So let's be mindful of that. Also ask that you are respectful to everybody in the comment section, on the panel, and everything in between. Now, today, I said we're having an open conversation for Easter. Not that it has anything to do with Easter. I forgot it was Easter, really, up until yesterday. So I do not celebrate Easter, but happy Easter to those of you guys who do celebrate. So we're not necessarily going to have an Easter conversation unless you guys want to do that in our open discussion, because that's what we're having today. Really, because I had nothing to talk about. Donovan and I spent about 45 minutes on the phone before we came on here, and we talked about everything under the sun. I was like, okay, well, let's make it an open discussion then. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to solicit comments and conversation from you guys. You can ask us whatever you want to ask us, and we'll do our best to answer it. So there really is no topic today, but I am looking forward to seeing what you guys want to discuss. Who came into the comment section before I give it to Donovan? Andre, how you doing? Says you can't wait. Me either, because I don't know. Hey, Trish, how you doing? And Quincy, what's going on? Detroit, and what's up, Miss Sweetheart? I hope you're doing well. Miss B, what's going on? Okay, Black America. Okay. You say, I can now dig the hair. You talking about me, or you talking about Donovan? I need to make that. Donovan, what the hell do you got in the background?
When I get my chance, I'm going to tell you what I got in the background.
Anyway, Michael Pan, are you related to Peter Pan by any chance? I'm just kidding. I hope you are well. Hello, Easy E. I hope you're well. And Miss B said, I don't celebrate no holidays or anything. I don't celebrate either. Oh, let me give you guys a really cute and good story. So y'all know that my father is a Nation of Islam, has been there since he's 19 years old. And he went to see a film on UFOs, if you will. My brother, and I believe it's Yasha Muhammad. He's going around the country promoting his documentary on UFOs. And so my dad calls me this morning, and I was kind of doing something. So he calls me right back. I say, hey, Daddy, is everything okay? And, you know, I'm recording my videos. He's like, I just want you to know that I was watching a premiere of the UFO movie, you know, for the Nation of Islam, and I saw you on it. They showed your face, and, you know, you were talking in it, and he said, that's mine. That's my daughter. So he, you know, he didn't know that I was in the film. So that brought me great joy that my father was surprised to see me in that. So anyway, Donovan, what say you?
Happy Easter for those that believe in that, Resurrection Day, whatever you call it. As a good Catholic that I am, I got up at 6:30 this morning, went to Mass. 30 minutes, we were out of there. Jesus is wonderful. Bye. So if you want the Easter ceremony or the celebration, that was at like the 10 o'clock Mass. I don't really go to that anymore. I don't have any kids to go to do that too. Yes, Demetra, your dad was, we're always proud of our children when they're doing great things. And that was really good. I'm very sure it brought joy to his heart, whatever those. Hey, you guys know the routine. At the bottom there, you have a scrolling banner. That is a way where you can give 100% of your contribution to the content creator. Because as you know, YouTube has to get their cut. They have to get their cut, which is about 40% of whatever you guys subscribe. So if you want to give 100, that's the way to do it. Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, all of that stuff. Demetra does take that. Also, do not forget to download the African Diaspora News channel. In the news in the African diaspora, once again, in Haiti, Barbecue has said that if the Kenyan people step foot, the police force step foot in Haiti, there's going to be a problem. also an African Diaspora News channel, which I did find out. Oh, and by the way, fellas, go check out the African Diaspora News channel. Some of the hosts, like Demetra, they got some nice looking women on giving out the news there.
You better believe it, baby.
Yeah, they have this new
best in town.
Yes, they have this new African girl, and she was reporting in Cape Town, South Africa. They are trying to separate from the rest of Africa and form their own country and nation because, again, it's been about 40 years since apartheid has stopped, and yet Black people are still just running the country into the ground, and there's still massive poverty and all kinds of stuff that's going on. So anyway, how did I know about that? African Diaspora News channel. So fellas, if you guys want to see some really attractive women, that's another way to go check that out, and some great news and information. Of course, Brother Phil Scott, Dickie Dillard, Demetra, and all that other good stuff. So anyway, in celebration of Easter, what I have in the background is you guys see the nice Easter basket with the eggs and stuff, whatever. But I want to show you how depraved we are in the community. What you're seeing is a hairstyle. Why would somebody come out in public with a basket full of eggs on the back of their head? Only in the Black community can we be as creative as we are. And it looks like she's at the Waffle House if you kind of take a look there, whatever. But open session today, we're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, number one. And number two, again, for those of you guys that dressed up, went out there and did your traditional stuff, it's really great. By the way, the Democrats went out and panhandled and made you guys feel good too by showing up in your churches and all that other stuff. You don't see Republicans doing that. But again, happy Easter to those, and hopefully things will be getting better.
Yeah, Donovan, be careful. Hello, Will. How are you? Talking about that woman's hair is Easter. It's time to be festive and all of that. Yeah, Miss Sweet Talk, she looks like she's at the Waffle House, which I don't particularly care for, but I probably got myself in trouble with even saying that, as the Waffle House is a big thing here in the South. And Lene, how you doing? He says, took down the P. Diddy broadcast from last Friday. I can no longer find it on the app. Which one is that one? On which channel? Because I haven't taken anything down unless somebody took it down for me. Puffy Knight, he says it's called being attention starved. Oh, the hair. Black women are very festive with our hair. You know what I mean? We like to do some pretty cool things. I think that's pretty cool, although I wouldn't like it because I don't know how you would sleep on it, right? It'd be kind of hard to do. And as men, we're supposed to go out with this clown and be proud of that. I mean, come on now. It's just too much. I wouldn't want, me personally, I wouldn't want my woman looking like that. That's buffoonery, in my opinion. I bet you she got 50-11 men, okay, trying to be with that. Easter eggs in the hair and all. Hey, Lynette, how you doing? Yeah, and I bet all those men she got rode the short bus to school. I'm gonna be nice. I'm going to be nice. Thunder, how you doing? It says, saw a report that 40% of Black Americans do not want to vote in this election. Yeah, that's probably true. A lot of Black Americans are saying, I'm going to vote for the couch, which means I'm going to stay home because I do not love either party, the Democrats or the Republicans. Neither have done anything for us as Black people. So I'm going to stay home and not voting for the lesser of two evils. I'll let you guys, the ones that's benefiting from that, I'll let y'all fight over that and let the chips fall where they may. Donovan, you crazy. So I totally believe that report. And I'm probably one of those that's in the 40%, I would say. I mean, I got a shoulder shrug out to the whole thing. Of course, they'll tell Black people, if you don't vote, that's a vote for Trump. Well, oh well then. So throw it in the comment section, y'all. What do you guys want to talk about? I'm interested in hearing it. Donovan and I also said that we are going to try to be here an hour, but y'all already know how that go. Every time we say it, it's like, God, 3 hours later. We're hoping that's not the case, but we're going to see. Will, I am glad you are well. And Lene says the African Diaspora app, they broadcast that Phil did so the broadcast that Phil did on P. Diddy. So is it on the app or is it off of the YouTube channel? Because sometimes he does remove things from the YouTube channel depending on the content and just go ahead and put it on the app. So I don't have any information on that. Mikey said the hairstyle is a bit much. Oh, come on. It's just it's Easter. And Puppy says it's too damn ghetto. But let me just okay. Maybe I'm gonna throw a rock in the comment section or something. I don't know. There was this video trending around. Okay, it was of this sister. Now I don't know if she's special needs or not. That's kind of maybe was the case. But nevertheless, she said that she went on a date. She met some guy on like a Tinder or whatever it is, dating site. And once she got there, he accused her of catfishing, right? Because I guess on her profile picture, my daughter says she has what they call a bust down, right? A nice weave and the makeup and all of that. And then she shows up and she's got what they call a twa, TWA, a teeny weeny afro. You know, she's dressed okay, nothing, you know, like, oh gosh, she's a little bit on the heavy set side or whatever. So I guess the guy, from what she's saying, they ate or whatever, but did not contact her back because he said she catfished him, not who she said she was on the app. And I thought about it. I'm like, well, these brothers, you brothers, run around talking about, I want my woman natural. I want my woman natural. I don't like the wigs, the weave, the nails, and the makeup. And that sister showed up like that, and the brother said she catfished him. So I'm thinking that she showed up with more in her natural form. Wouldn't that have been a good thing? Since most of y'all brothers don't like all the additives on a woman, I'm just asking.
But what you're not saying is the pictures he saw was the only of her up. He didn't see the rest of her body. So she did kind of catfish him on that. If you guys saw the video. I
mean, but I think for the most part, you see somebody, if a person is bigger boned, if you will, I think they would be that way on the top too, unless it's just, you know, from the eyes up. I don't know. But nevertheless, she said that she, you know, he catfished her. But I thought brothers like their women more on the natural side.
And speaking of big girls, your girl Lizzo has decided she is quit music. Quit music because y'all are too damn rough about her body and stuff and all this other stuff. She's quit music. Now, I'm going to say this for me, not Demetra. I believe, and I know for a fact, Lizzo is a very talented musician. She is very talented. She can sing. Unfortunately, in the entertainment business, it is geared toward women that look a certain way. So if you're a big woman, to me, and it really doesn't matter when it comes to her music, it doesn't matter because Aretha Franklin was a big woman. She could sing. Jennifer Holliday was a big woman. She could sing. Luther Vandross was a big dude. He can sing. In the Black community, it's more about your talent. But unfortunately, we're in an age where everybody is a Stepford wife and they all look alike. They're getting the butt injections, all this other stuff like that. And, you know, they want you to look a certain way. What's the one girl, the white lady? Estelle or Adele? Adele, a woman that can sing. She was a big girl. And then she started hitting the gym and she got smaller. It's just, you know, it's just the how you're supposed to do it. Lizzo, sweetheart, if you don't want to put in the work to be a certain way that you think you should be in your mind, then that's on you. But your talent speaks for itself. Then that's all you need.
Easy. I didn't cook anything today. Nothing at all. I had yogurt and some crackers.
Yogurt?
Yeah. You know, Sunday I'd be busy, you know, so I don't necessarily have time to cook.
Yogurt?
What? Shut up. I don't even know what you mean, but shut up. Okay, so it was on the app on Friday. Okay, so happy Easter to you as well. You guys know I don't celebrate, but happy Easter to those of y'all who do. And let's see here. The average logical thinker. Did I say hello to you? If I didn't, how you doing? It says, I'll say it. She looks a hot damn mess. She's talking about the lady with the Easter basket. Y'all wild. And Black America says, Donovan, would you date an older woman?
If she is keeping herself together and, you know, yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, when I was, the mother of my children are 4 and 5 years older than me. And I will tell you, when I was younger, I learned a lot and got the experience of that. I never really dated someone that was younger than me when I was younger, in my 20s. So, yeah, I like older women. If they keep themselves together, yeah, I'll definitely date an older woman.
I ain't gonna say nothing because he didn't ask me. He asked Donovan. So that's Donovan's opinion. Hey, Al, he says Lou Gossip Jr. Yes, Lou Gossip Jr. I know some of y'all used to say Lou Gossip. It's not Lou Gossip. It's Lou Gossett. Jr. passed away, which is in his 87 is what he was. Of course, he played in a copious amounts of movies, all types of movies. My favorite, I think, was An Officer and a Gentleman. That's a movie I could watch over and over again. Of course, he starred in things like Good Times, or Jefferson's, I think it was. Maybe
Jefferson's Good Times. Remember, he was Thelma's older boyfriend from the chicken company. Yes. He was the son of the chicken tycoon or whatever.
Yes, The Fiddler and Roots, and just a whole bunch of things.
Powers of Matthew Star.
Oh, yeah. So just an asset to the Black community as far as Hollywood is concerned.
And what was his claim to fame in the entertainment industry? He was the first Black to win a supporting.
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. So R.I.P. to Lou Gossett Jr. All right. So let's see here. Michael, you say Joe Biden's support for Black Americans dropped 96 to 76% in the last 3 years. They are frustrated with him not delivering tangible policies for them. And yes, it's going to get worse as we progress along in the political season. Surprised there, right? And Miss We Talked said I saw the video and she definitely was lying to kick it. So you talk about the lady who said the guy said she catfished him. But I'm just wondering, hey, Corliss, I'm gonna send you a link in just a minute. But I thought men like women natural, you know. And sometimes that natural hair ain't all flowing down to her feet. Sometimes it's that long, you know, and sometimes she don't look like she did, you know, on her profile picture with no makeup. It's just every day. You know what I mean? Sagittarius goddess. You saying sip, so you just what you do? You sipping tea? What's going on? Cha Chick, how you doing? And JJ, how you doing? Says she should have posted her real photos. Yeah. I totally agree with you. I think that people should post their real photos of how you look, especially if you're on these apps. But we know, especially with these filters and things like that, you know, have you seen those memes that says when you order something off of, let's say, Wish? I don't even know if Wish exists anymore, but Temu or whatever, what I ordered and what I got. Sometimes that's how people look when they show up the dates. You see them on their profile pictures and they got this angle and they got the apps and stuff. But when you see them, you're like, what happened to the person that was on the profile picture?
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't think that's a phenomenon just to the internet. How many of you guys have been to the funerals of your grandparents or your uncle or somebody or your aunt, and you look at the program? It's never a picture of what they look like today. It's always when they were in high school or when they were young, you know, that little bar picture or something where they're younger. You never see the current picture. It's always the younger picture.
No ring on my finger. I am not married. No, not married. Black America says we don't like fat women. They probably don't like you either. So there. All right, of course, y'all talking about Lizzo. Yeah, Lizzo says she's quitting because of the harassment, the bullying. Feel like she can't do anything right. People lying on her and stuff. I will say that I really feel sorry for Lizzo. I know she's made I don't want to say mistakes, but, you know, just she's done some things that people don't like. She's done a lot of things that I don't like, but I don't think that she should be bullied and harassed and, you know, be the punching bag for everybody to pick on or compare other women, Black women too, and all this other stuff. Because we know that nobody does that to white women or any other woman that is not considered to be overweight or whatever the case is. I don't care what you do in your life. And this is what I said too about the internet. I was explaining this to somebody the other day. I said, when we first got on Facebook and social media, it was 2009 when I got on. It was really about sharing your photos and cute little posts and things like that. But now it has become a very evil, mean place. Whereas I call it an evil think tank, right? That's the comment section. They see something, usually posted by the blogs, and then everybody has this opinion. You this, you that, you this, you that. And it's like, well, who are you to sit up there and ride somebody to the point of quitting? Ride somebody to the point of depression or even wanting to harm themselves. I hate that we as a society has come to the point of judging people to the point of they just quit, you know, because imagine if you had the spotlight and every time you did something, and I know I get it, you can't please everybody, but golly, some people, they wake up with I was going to say something dirty, but they wake up wanting to just, I'm going to tell you. And this is why I tell people all the time. Every morning when you wake up, make sure that you reinforce to yourself that you are somebody, you're important and stuff, because there's somebody, and usually it's online, Now, waiting to tell you you ain't ish. You don't matter. So you have to know who you are. Otherwise, other people will tell you that. So I'm not sure what's going on with Lizzo, but I surely do not think it's right that people feel like they can pick on her. What are you doing in your house that is not on the internet that somebody can find fault in you and pick on you to where you want to quit? That's what we have to ask ourselves.
But I have a question for you. So you think it's correct for Lizzo you think it's appropriate? And I know you don't think it's appropriate, but when you bring attention to yourself, then you subject yourself to be criticized. So when she's on there taking craps on the toilet and showing her nasty fat nastiness and stuff like that,
When
you don't
do that.
Yeah, she would be. There were incidents where she was actually taking a crap on the toilet, and she was on whatever platform it was, and she doesn't expect no blowback from that. Nobody to have an opinion about that. Like I said, I know social media is not real to a point, but when you're an entertainer and you're putting yourself out there, nobody wants to see inappropriate pictures, in regards to big people or, smaller people or things like that. So when you do that, you got to take accountability for what you do too. If she doesn't want people to criticize her on her size and all this other stuff, then stop talking about it on social media. Stop posting it on social media. Would you agree with that?
I agree that wherever you post could have ramifications, have people talk about it. But at what point do you stop? What point do you say, okay, I've said my piece and I'm going to leave it alone? I know for a long time, Dr. Boyce Watkins made it his, point to just harass her to the point of where, it caused her depression and tears. And I made a video about him, like, you lay next to a woman who was a Black psychologist and she's all right with you bullying a Black woman. See, because it becomes a point to bullying somebody. Are you bullying or are you making commentary? And a lot of people are just bullying her. Like, all right, yes, she does some things to bring it on herself, but why like my dad always says, never let a classless person outclass you. So you don't like what she does, and let's keep it a buck, whether it's Gabourey Sidibe or Lizzo, that they are like the punching bag for Black women because they're fat and Black, but nobody gets the amount of criticism that they have. And I would just be all right with people just say it's because they're fat Black women, but they're skinny Black women who do things like that. They might get a little commentary, but it's never to the point of bullying them to where it's harmful. You know what I mean? So I think we need to be honest with that, because all women don't get that criticism. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, they get some or whatever, but they don't get the type of criticism that Lizzo gets.
Right. But Demetra, in the world that we live in, where Black people are at the bottom and we get crapped on, we're discriminated against and all this other stuff, how is that not a reality? What are we telling our kids? I used to tell my sons all the time, I'm not saying because you're dark skinned that makes you any lesser than anybody else. But the reality is, this country that we live in, your Black skin is a disadvantage. That's the real world. So what are we telling these girls when, of course, you're going to get more flack. You're a Black girl. You're a Black person. You're going to get more flack than everybody else. That's just common sense, right?
No, why? But why though? And I'm gonna
because it's the real world. It's not the world we want to be in. It's the world we live in.
Why do we got to do that to each other? If we know that, especially with why you finish, you ask me a question. Let me ask white supremacy or whatever is doing that to us. Why do we got to join in on that? You know what I mean? I'm not saying that Lizzo is not bringing some of that on herself, but who are we to bully people? Who has given us the right or anybody to bully people? If you don't like what she does, okay, I don't like it, whatever. I've said that, but I've not bullied Lizzo. Because that's not my right to do that to her. We can't make Lizzo do or not do anything, but I don't care what nobody says. It's because she is a fat Black woman and I've seen people like Rock Newman, who I think is, one of the pillars of Black voices in our community, have been for a long time. But he gets up on his platform and bullies and calls her names and stuff. It's like, come on, Rock. Are ratings low? I don't know. But I think Lizzo is an easy target, but nobody else gets that but Black women. And God forbid she be fat. Hey, Pamela, how you doing?
No, again, and I'm not saying what you're saying is not right or wrong, but that's human nature. Human nature, like animals. When there's a weak person in the animal kingdom, the rest of the things, they sense that and they attack it or they do it. We're no different than animals. We do the same thing. It's just the nature of the beast. How many of you guys were in high school And not saying that you were the one that got picked on or was bullied on or whatever, but that went on. It was a common thing, and it was no big deal. It was back in the day, that was a rite of passage. You didn't see us, our generation and the generation before us, going and shooting up schools because we were bullied. Now, what's going on? They don't do this, they don't do that, and it's all going here. I'm not saying it is what it is, but the point is, human nature of the beast in us, our animalistic instincts, certain people are going to be picked on, certain people aren't. I got picked on in high school all throughout my grade school years. And the only thing that I could do was stand up for myself and fight back. And by fighting back, the bullies, whatever you want to call them, they respected me and left me alone, because even though I didn't win, I gave them all they can handle. It is just part of life, period.
Hey, Clubberland, how you doing? And I'm going to get to the comment about Candace Owens as well. In Clubber, you say mental health has always been ignored in the community. Yeah. And Donna, you say it's human nature. Is it human nature to be evil to people? Why can't it be human nature to be nice to people? You know what I mean? As we were always taught, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it. And I get it. We're in the age of social media where everybody think they got the damn right to espouse their beliefs and opinions on everybody. Those are your opinions. Those not mine. You may say something to me, but if I don't want to acquiesce to what you're saying, then leave me alone. Anything else is bullying. So is it human nature to be evil to people? I don't know.
It is. Yes, it is. And wait. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we're not all the same. You got a certain group of people that will drink the Kool-Aid. You got a certain people that won't drink the Kool-Aid. We are not the same. Certain people have certain traits. Yes, it is in human nature to be evil. There's in human nature to be nice. There's human nature to be gay. There's there's all kinds of different aspects within the community. So yes, you're going to have those people. Would I bully a Lizzo? No. Like I said, on this show, I think she's very talented. Her talent speaks for herself, and as far as I'm concerned. But yes, we got to stop playing this game of everybody should be the same. Everybody's not the same, and we've got to accept that. There are going to be some assholes out there, excuse my language, some a-holes out there, and there's going to be some nice people. It's just the way it is.
So in that same vein, we say we got to accept that everybody is not the same. We also need to accept that everybody is not a size 2.
Exactly. Absolutely. I agree.
And let's see here. So the comment about Candace Owens basically, are we going to accept her back? I think that was kind of the question. It's not for me to accept Candace Owens back. We know that Candace Owens has made a bag telling white people what they want to hear and believe about Black people. I think that she's getting her, wake up moment called, if you will. She said some things about what's going on in Israel, and those folks did not like it. And so she also lost her job. I forget Turning Point USA or wherever she's at. I don't know. At this point. And so, yeah, now she's trying to do a 180, I guess. Hey, how y'all doing, my peoples? So I don't have an opinion on Candace other than the one that I've always had. I think she has done herself a disservice, and she's also tried to do Black people a disservice by saying a lot of things that she has said, but we always know how that works out. White supremacy gonna kick it with you up to a point, and then they're gonna remind you of who you are, and she's no different. So I do like what Candace Owens has said, as far as Black people need to make an exit from the Democratic Party, but she's also said a whole lot of other things that was not cool to say about Black people. So hopefully, white people will forgive her, or whatever the case is, and they'll welcome her back. But as for now, I don't think that Candace is any different. I think she's acting.
And remember, at the end of the day, white supremacy always breaks its tools after it's done with them. Show me somebody who worked in the service of white supremacy and they're out here making a bag and doing what they're doing. They're usually destroyed. Their money's cut off. What was her, Omarosa? Look at her. She's over here bigging and biting to get whatever she can get and scraps and all this other stuff. White supremacy always breaks its tools when they're done with them.
Yeah, so Lene says, I don't think Dr. Watkins bullied her. He was making a point that promoting obesity as body positivity is unhealthy. He was fat. He was fat at one point in time, and there's nobody bullying him when he was fat. Now that he ain't fat no more, so he think he has the right to bully people. And, who was he to make, and it wasn't just once, it was over and over. It was to the point to where even people who followed him was like, man, what's your obsession with her? Like, that's bullying her. Leave her alone. And I called upon his wife. You lay next to this man and you think that's cool. You're a psychologist. You know what it means when you bully people. It causes them mental distress. And you should be calling your man to a higher standard. What, you got a thing for Lizzo? Or is she just because she's trending. Are you clout chasing to continue mentioning her name? So I get if you make a commentary, but it's not up to him to tell her to lose weight. Like I said, he was fat not that long ago himself. And all of a sudden he lose 2.3 pounds. He got the right to talk about somebody else's weight. Because that's one thing about weight loss is you can find that weight again too. So be careful what you say to people. And Puppy, this ain't Puff Daddy, is it? You say, Demetri, I love you, but you're making excuses for Lizzo. I'm not making excuses for Lizzo. I've said a lot of things about Lizzo that I don't like, but I know the difference between bullying and making commentary. And a lot of people, unfortunately, are big, mean, grown adult bullies who think that they have the right to talk about somebody's weight or whatever the case is. Has she done things and said things that's problematic? Yeah, but it's not my job. Lizzo don't have to listen to me. If Lizzo's not listening to me, anything else is you're forcing your opinion on her. But let's see what you guys do in your regular life. And I'm sure people have something to say. You ain't going to be, well, that's just the way it is. You're going to have an issue with that too. So I'm not making excuses. I'm asking us to let's not bully people. That's all I'm saying.
Demetri, you used to be fat.
And so was your mama. I'm just playing. I mean, you know, and fat is subjective, you know, because as some people say, more push it to the cushion, more bounce to the ounce, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And Lizzo got a man. Lizzo's had a man for a very long time. She had a man before, that man and her have been together before she was famous. And one of the most famous people in the history of the world, Prince, found Lizzo. She's a protege of Prince. If you guys did not know that, by the way. So if Prince, she was all right with Prince, she all right with me. R.I.P. And Josh says, gotta love Democrats. I'm sorry, Demetrius Heart, sweet Phil in the heart. Okay. Hey, Brina, how you doing? And let's see, I'm gonna skip down a little bit, you guys, so I can catch up. I'm sorry. Yeah, astrological thing. It says, sorry, Demetri, kind of comes with the territory. It's not fair at all, but it's the way it is. Lizzo antagonizing people with weight and cries. Later, is she antagonizing y'all, or is she saying I'm happy with my weight? See, that's a difference. And to say that she's antagonizing, exactly what is she doing to anybody that makes people feel away? Is she saying I'm okay with my weight? This is body positivity to me. So how is that antagonistic to anybody else? Because we don't have to live in her body, she does. So are we mad because she's proud of her weight and who she is? Or do we not want her to be? I guess maybe I just, don't have all the information. Yes, Sagittarius God, it says grown ass people bullying. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. Baby girl, baby goat 05 says, so because she's fat, she doesn't deserve to partake in social media harassment. Harassment free like everyone else. So you saying she doesn't deserve to be on social media harassment free? Yeah, I think she does, but apparently a lot of people don't think she should. All right, and Easy says, correction, Donovan, we don't shoot up schools. That's them crazy Columbine kids. Okay. Thundy says, that's the one, bro, Donovan. You have great taste in music. Okay. And Michael says, Demetri and Donovan, why is mental health encouraged for Black women, but it's taboo for Black men? I never got it. It's actually taboo in the Black community in general. So it's not just Black men and Black women. We in the Black community have been taught to pray, go to church. It's going to be all right. Take some Robitussin, have some ginger ale. Well, ain't nothing wrong with you, whatever the case is. So it's not just for Black, a taboo for Black men. It's taboo for Black women as well. But everybody needs to talk to somebody sometime in their life.
Yeah, I have no problem saying this. I mean, I talk to a therapist once a week. It's costing the taxpayer about $1,000. So you can thank you guys for the therapy. But the point is, it isn't, because I'm crazy, or maybe, well, Demetri will say because I'm crazy. But the point is, everybody needs somebody to talk to and do these things. Now, I'm a bachelor. I live by myself. My animals can't respond to what I need to say. So sometimes dealing with this woman right here, I need a therapist to talk to get stuff off my chest because she won't listen. Okay. So, but anyway, but no, I really don't understand the stigma within the Black community about getting some kind of mental health therapy. Because let me tell you something. There was a study done about 30 years ago. And the study had to do with kids in the Middle East, mostly in Palestine, and how they live under this constant barrage of combat. They're in this PTSD type mode where things are exploding, people are being killed, whatever the deal is. They took that study, true story, out of all of the people in the United States, the only group that was similar to people in a combat situation was the Black community. Within our community, our kids, of course, we know post-traumatic slave disorder is a big issue of it, but our group of people in the United States had the same symptoms of people who live in a combat or a military type zone of type people. Now, if you're growing up in that 20 years, you don't think that you have some kind of psychological problem where you could be the best person on paper, smarter and more education, and somebody's hired over you? You don't think that has a mental effect on you? The color of your skin, you can't do this or you can't go here without being harassed by the police. You don't think that has a mental effect on you? It does. But that was a study done over 30 years ago and guess what? Has the United States government done anything about it within the Black community? No. They want you to be crazy. They want you to run around and give excuses to lock you up. And that's why Joe Biden, during the time of the 1995 crime bill, is when that bill was written and this study had actually happened. They want these people to fill up these prisons. That's what they want. You explain to me, how is it that I believe 70% of jails or something, it's a high percentage of Black people that are in jails around the nation, but yet we're supposedly only 13% of the population? Explain that. Explain it.
Willie, how you doing? Says, so what did you pagans do for Easter? Some other word. Y'all make any blood sacrifices? I don't know who this y'all you talking about. I don't celebrate Easter at all. But for those who do, I don't knock it. You know, it's just not for me. But yeah, I didn't do anything for Easter. Samuel, you say Omarosa, Stacey Dash are both finished, should never be welcome back in the Black space diaspora. Well, I'm one of those people, never say never. I think people evolve and they do learn. I just don't think those two ladies are there yet. But I also ask myself this: how is it that we won't welcome our own back, but we always welcome back white folks when they do stuff to us? Okay, you know, they invited to picnics and barbecues and all kind of stuff. But when it comes to our own, and trust me, I am no friend of Candace Owens at all. Trust me. But when it comes to our own, it's like we were very austere with them. I don't know. Is it because they should know better? I don't know. Just asking. All right, so let me get to some of these comments. Okay. So I see y'all still talking about Lizzo. Let me, and Till Dog says, Dr. Moist, oh Lord have mercy, Watkins does that a lot that people never seen, and so-called financial analysts have his nose in so many people's business, right? He's supposed to be talking about money, but then he sit up for a whole 53 weeks talking about Lizzo. It's like, if you like Lizzo, just say that. You know, if your wife ain't cutting it for you, bro, just say that too. I don't know. Gerard said he was cloud chasing and it raised her status to be married to him. And Brina says it's immature for grown-ups to spend their time talking about each other. It's petty and doesn't result in progression for anyone. That's, to me, one of the best comments. You're absolutely right. They say people, and I'm going to paraphrase this, but people who don't have a lot going on sit up and talk about other people. But people who have some things going on talk about ideas, right? Small-minded people is what it is. They talk about other people all day long. Look at them. Look at them. But people with big minds and great ideas, they talk about things that, you know, are progression and production and all that other stuff. So you got to ask yourself, which one are you? You small-minded and you talk about other people all day long, or you big-minded and you talking about ideas? That's really where it's at. Let's see. All right, let me skip down. Yes, it is Black America. Fattest objectives. You know, a 300-pound woman might be the bomb to a man, or vice versa. So it's in the eye of the beholder. Jeff, how you doing? Says Buenos tardes, Demetra. Yo, Donovan, what's up, my people? I got a call in one of these days. Yes, you do. And Willie says, I need to have a drink. Gotta just listen and watch on the big screen to all over my comments. Okay, well, have a drink for me. Miss Sweet Talk, she said, I didn't know Prince founded Lizzo. Yes, founded Lizzo. That is, she is a protege of Prince. And Puffy says, Prince was just being nice. That heifer wasn't no talent. Please, Lizzo could sing anybody on this thread under a rug, and she plays some instruments just like Prince. And come on now. I think it's an insult to Prince for him to say that he was just being nice, because I'm sure Prince came across a whole lot of people that wanted his, you know, blessing, if you will, and he did not give it to him. In fact, he was asked about Beyonce back in the day. He was doing a word association, and he was supposed to say the first thing that came to his mind when the person, the particular talent was mentioning. The person says Alicia Keys, and he says genius. He said Beyonce, said Nickelodeon. So I know that they ended up performing together a time or two, but that was what he thought of Beyonce. And so, you know, to say that Prince is just running around signing people to be nice, I don't think that was the case. But anyway, let's move right along. I'm going to skip down. Okay, let's get past the Lizzo talk. See, y'all bullying Lizzo again. I'm seeing some of these comments in here. Valerie, if I didn't already, how you doing? It says, how about that Putin bringing the light to truth about Black Jesus, and now he's trying to make deals with Africa. They bet not kick one evil out to allow another one in. Yeah, we kind of talked about that last week, as well as Putin, Russia, disclosing that Jesus was Black, but who didn't already know that? I know there was a lot of people who didn't, but we knew that, right? Bro Goo, how you doing? Says Demetri, if Lizzo is happy with her weight, that is fine with me. I better hear her or women like her talk about a man. I better not think you meant a man's weight. Women can be some of the most hypocritical people on the planet. Yeah, but I've never heard Lizzo talk about any man's weight. But I agree that if she's happy, I'm happy, because it's not for me to be unhappy. You know, what Lizzo eats don't do nothing for me. M, how you doing? Says it's very telling. If she was a drug addict on the verge of losing her life on an overdose, nobody would say anything. There are only two sins in Hollywood: being fat and broke. Everything else goes. Ooh, you said a word right there. Brina says, I would love to see the way men treat her after she loses weight. Next thing you know, everyone had a crush on you. Annoying. And I think she's losing some weight right now. Isaiah 54:17. How you doing? Says, hey, Demetri and Donovan. Demetri, I must say, oh, well, thank you so much. Looking sassy. I'm sassy too. I'm just playing, but thank you. JJ says, I think the E.B. Du Bois, I said that insanity is only one step away from the Negro or something like that because of our historical abuse. Oh, yeah. Dr. Joy DeGroot talked about that in the post-traumatic slave disorder, and how we are still suffering ill happened to our ancestors from slavery, and we just never were healed. In fact, she said we are unwell people. And forgive me if it seems like I'm freezing up a little bit, but it'll come back. Sister B says, being Black in America is cause for needing a therapist as a way of life. You ain't lying. Being forever. How you doing? It says Easter is a white Christian pagan holiday, and I hope you're doing well. Reality with GP. How you doing? It says, I just got here, but I already have to go because my 73-year-old friend with wait, hold on. My 79-year-old friend with benefits just called me and asked me to head to her house. I'll WF the stream some other time. Young man, what you gonna be doing with a 70? Never mind. I'm hoping that you're just taking her a little Bengay over there, you know, for her knees. Black America says Stacey Dash was fine as hell too. Yeah, very good looking woman. Michelle says 1994 crime bill with Bill Clinton and Joe Biden. Yes, indeed. And your average logical thinker says facts, Demetri. We always accept others BS, but each other nope. Hold a grudge forever. Yep. And Enlighten, how you doing? Said, did you guys forget how Lizzo was treating her background dancers on tour? Lizzo was not an angel. She treated dancers like ish. Did y'all forget that she was abuser? Those are allegations. And also, if you watch the other interview, when those dancers were asked, because the one allegation is that Lizzo told her dancers that they were fat and overweight. And when those dancers were asked, did she say that to you? She says no. And they asked, well, what did she say? She said that Lizzo noticed that our performance was lacking and that they weren't keeping up with the dance movements. And so more than likely they were fighting on performance. But the girl said, no, she never did say that. But the blogs ran away with that Lizzo was being abusive and all that. And it's more than likely a money grab. But again, people just believe everything. But watch all of it. If we're going to make make an assumption. Now, I'm not saying that Lizzo didn't do anything, but no, the lady even herself could not say that Lizzo called her fat and all that other stuff. So it's going to court. What happens, I don't know. Keisha, how you doing? So Demetri, you just said a word. We are to welcome everybody back except for our own. Yeah, and that's we sick. And I'm not saying that we should be accepting of degenerate behavior, but white folks do I almost said the S word. It's Easter. But white folks do stuff all the time, and we okay, Mom, I forgive you. What you bring into you? Yes, you can bring your potatoes or raisins and salad and raisins to the barbecue. But Black people, I don't mess with her no more. I don't. Slaves. We slaves in our thinking. I don't. It's just Of course, no. I'm not welcoming folks. Yeah, I mean, some people don't deserve a well back. Puffy says he obviously don't like Boyce just because he told the truth. No, I don't like or dislike Boyce at all. Did Boyce tell the truth, or was he bullying people? It was nasty. And you know, sometimes the truth is nasty. But what are you saying, brother? You think you did like you supposed to be teaching black people to be financially literate, and you sitting up there called bullying a black woman all damn day long? Sounds like you bored. Sounds like black people ain't listening to you. And Boyce Watkins got his own fish to fry because he was caught doing his being in bed, if you will, with some people he shouldn't be in bed with, like that of Charles Wu, who paid him allegedly to dupe the black community and making us think that he was for the financial betterment of black people, and that's documented. So while he is throwing glass or stones at other people's glass houses, he might want to put some covering on his glass windows. I'm just saying. But I don't dislike or like Boyce, but I don't like anybody. I don't care who it is, Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, whoever, bullying people because they feel like they got this God complex and I can sit up and judge you. You better be careful because you're going to be judged one day and you ain't going to like it. I'm just saying.
Woo, look at that face. Y'all got her triggered.
Right. All right. So let's see. I'm going to skip down for real this time. Dusty Hotep, where you been? You see, say Boyce is one of the biggest simps on the internet. He is talking about her weight, or is he speaking about the promotion of obesity? Is Lizzo promote like, okay, this is the other thing. See, on one hand, we talk about I'm a dose, I do what I want to do, but then on the next, you blaming Lizzo, and y'all think she telling people to be fat? Can Lizzo tell you to be fat if you don't want to be fat? Is Lizzo telling you to put a Twinkie or a ho-ho or whatever in your mouth? That's on you. Even if she was telling you to do that, you were still a grown ass mom. I almost said another bad word. You grown. Lizzo ain't making you do nothing. But then on the other hand, a lot of people, you know, let me shut up. But yeah, Lizzo ain't making nobody fat. She's not promoting obesity. And if she was, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do? You can't check Lizzo.
See, that's bullying right there. That's bullying right there. What you just did. What you gonna do about it? I'm just saying. I'm intimidated.
You ain't gonna do nothing about it. You can't even do that about it. Some of y'all got fat women living in your house, but you ain't gonna talk about that. But you want to get on the internet and tell Lizzo not to be fat.
Don't you say nothing about my mama? Don't you say a doggone thing about my mama?
And you did. I didn't say that. You did. And I know your mama is far from fat. Okay. Willie says people are watching. Let's get on to something everyone can see. 2024. I mean, well, what y'all want to talk about? JT Devereaux, how you doing? It says must be nice. For real. Let me skip down. Easy says Watkins is a scam. Oh boy, I ain't gonna go into that. That's what they say. I don't know how true it is because I've never done business with Boyce Watkins. So I'll let everybody else make that decision. Hello, Rosalind. I hope you are. You know what? I've been calling you Rosalind this whole time, and it's Rollins. My bad. I'm sorry. Well, how you doing? Yeah, average article thing says, come on, Demetrius, okay, cuss every now and again. I'm a lady. I don't like to be cussing on here. I do cuss behind the scenes, and I've cut down on that a lot. But yeah, sometimes I'll be wanting to say stuff. Terrell, how you doing? And Isaiah says, Dimitri, I saw your story on the elderly black couple whose home was sold without their knowledge, and now they are homeless. I pray that someone can help them. The people involved will not prosper. Yes, so it was an elderly black couple, the Almonds in Georgia, Stone Mountain. Somehow their house was stolen from them through fraud. Somebody took out a second mortgage. They didn't have a mortgage. And then next thing they knew, their stuff was being thrown out on the lawn because somebody purchased it. And there was nothing they could do about it. I guess the laws there in Georgia are kind of weird to where you could, I guess, do deed stuff and like that online. You don't really need an ID. And unfortunately, that elderly black couple, the man went to jail and the wife was sleeping in her car because they had no other family and nowhere to go. So I haven't followed up on that story, but I'm hoping that somebody has helped them as well. But see, that's the stuff we need to be talking about instead of talking about Lizzo. We need to be talking about helping our elderly people who have been duped out of their home and have nowhere to go. That's the stuff that matters, not Lizzo and what she's eating.
Absolutely. We need to start holding our representatives accountable. The Democratic Party, over 1 million veterans sitting out there on the streets, homeless. We can't solve that problem, but we can house people who came here illegally. Make it make sense.
Right, Angela. Thank you so much. He says, hello, I love your hair. He says, there are more important issues we need to concern ourselves with. We are being invaded, killed, suffering from inflation and homelessness. Yeah. And people want to talk about, Lizzo. I think at the end of the day, Lizzo will be all right. But yeah, we got a lot of other things to be focused on. I'm just skip down a little bit because I know I'm behind. Yeah, it is a shame, Samuel, that grown people are bullying Lizzo's. Like, find something to do. And Willie says, to you all got to get on to something else. Yeah, well, throw it in the comment section, which I want to talk about. Buckhorse, how you doing? It says DC is here. Shalom, family. No Easter for me. I'm Hebrew, y'all. All right. Yep. No Easter for me. I just want to know how the Easter Bunny got involved with Easter. The bunny, rather. What does the bunny got to do with Jesus and the resurrection? I would imagine money, right? Corporations. M says we promote worse things than obesity in our media, but like I said, there are only two sins in Hollywood: being fat and broke, dope, murder, arrogance, violence, promiscuity. All okay, yeah, but we take up the, we want to ride down on Lizzo. It's hate is what it is. I'm not saying that she has done anything, not done anything problematic, but it is a lot of self-hate, and I just think, unfortunately, fat people, fat Black women are easy marks because they know most people won't care. They'll, in fact, join in on it. I just won't be one of them. And Miss B says, y'all please leave Judge Demetra alone. Yeah, y'all leave me alone. Black America says vets are homeless because they want to be. Okay. Puffy says, not just veterans, folks, period. So y'all talking about what Donovan was saying. All right, let me skip down. Patricia, how you doing? You say Jersey City in the house. All right. Easy, you say D. They need to close that loophole in the system, allowing people to easily steal people's deeds to their homes, and the notaries need to do their job. Yeah, so that's the other thing. And I used to be a notary when I was in California. In fact, I still am, I think. But yeah, notaries are supposed to check IDs, make sure the signatures and everything match, but sometimes notaries don't. They're like, all right, you good, stamp, and then somebody stole somebody's house. And unfortunately, the elderly Black couple thought they can handle it themselves. So they tried to do the paperwork at the court, but it didn't go through. They probably needed a lawyer. They're probably just thinking there's no way this is going to happen to us, but it did. And whoever bought the house was some foreigner. They didn't show his face. Bought the house and told them to get off my property and had their belongings all on the front yard. It's very sad. It made me really mad. It really did. AJ, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Long time no see. I see you always traveling all over. All right. And so, did I get to the bottom? I did. Valerie says you can't go into any country and enjoy their citizens' benefit. This needs to stop. Yeah, but you
especially illegally, you will be thrown into their jail. No questions asked. There is no social safety net. None of that. Show me a country where you can go into their country, apply for benefits, even just basic food stamps, and they're going to give them to you. There's nowhere in the world that's being done like that. You can't go into these countries if you're not a citizen and get any kind of help or benefits. It's not going to happen. Matter of fact, if you want to own property in a lot of these countries, you got to marry somebody who's actually from there, and everything has to be in their name.
Yes, and Jebby says Easter was originally called Ishtar, and it was about fertility. That's why the rabbits and eggs, and it has some rated R details, meaning stuff about orgy, etc. I don't celebrate Easter. Yeah, so absolutely, actually comes more from Kemet, Egypt, and of course, Christianity has been accused of ripping off the practices, if you will, of Kemet, Egypt. So yeah, that's just one of them. So yeah, I get that, but it's you see more people talk about the Easter Bunny, Easter egg hunts, and all that other stuff, and it's like I don't want to get into it, but in fact I won't, because we're not going to be talking about religion. But yeah, thank you for that. Carlos is in the building, and I'm going to share the link for everybody else in just a minute. Let me get down to these comments really quick. And Rawling, you say my show today was about the illegal migrant squatting and stealing America's homes and properties. Yeah, and it sounds like now some of these states are changing the laws because it's all fun and games, when people, when it's done on a smaller level, but now they're seeing, of course, hearing the migrants talking about this is how you get to America, find an empty home and get up in it. And it's going to take them a long time to get you out. And so now a lot of states are starting to change the laws. Originally, those laws were put into place to help tenants from greedy landlords and landlords who just were not doing right by the tenants, but the loopholes backfired and opened up a culture of squatting, if you will. Squatting means you finding somebody's house that's vacant and saying it's mine. Nah, it's called due process. It's gonna take you a long time to get me up out of here. So
yeah, and it wasn't that guy arrested. I think he was actually arrested, and he's waiting.
He was.
But here's the thing, you guys, about that young man that was arrested that put all that out there. He has a child that was born here in the United States. So guess what? Guess what? He's going to be back. If Joe Biden gets back in office, these people that are being deported, they are going to be coming back, because in the time that it takes to get to their court dates, you're talking about 2 or 3 years. These people are having babies. So what does that make the baby? An American citizen. And that American citizen is now the anchor baby, so that they could now file other petitions to be here legally. Because who's going to take care of that baby? You got to let the parents stay here. So it's not the initial migrants that come here that we're worried about. It's the next generation.
Yes, indeed. And maybe we could discuss this, Corliss and Donovan. As y'all heard me say when I first came on here, let's get ready to rumble. Lord, I ain't ready to rumble, y'all. I'm really not. Wait,
and real quick, I want to cut you off. I want to give a shout out to Demetra's crush, the Honorable Julius Malema.
That is my crush. I love him. One day, hopefully I will get to meet him. I know he's married. I just want to say hello, how you doing? I love the work that you're doing. Keep it up. You go. All right, so y'all ready for this? My dear brother Quincy X, he says, I guess believe all women is subjective. I would say so, because some people think, yeah, you should believe all women. And some people say you shouldn't believe all women. So yeah, I guess so. But I guess you're maybe referencing during the Me Too movement, when they were saying men, it was predominantly women saying men from Hollywood and everywhere else did something to them. And then there was the other saying that came out of that, believe all women. And a lot of people ran around talking about believe all women. I just wasn't one of them. So Corliss, what's on your mind?
Some women ain't believable. I'm just saying. I'll give you a quick example. I don't know the gentleman's name. Long Beach Poly. Sat in jail for a whole bunch of years for a rape he didn't do. The girl got paid by the school district. Black girl, black mama. And come to find out, it wasn't nothing what she said. And he done all this time, lost his scholarship, everything. But he did come back. They did go back and get him. But the point is, for some of these broads that's unbelievable, and you do believe them, you need to go back and give them that same spoon of medicine that they dished out. They also, too, should do prison time. And you should go back and you should have to pay restitution like they do everybody else. I don't think they should let these women walk free. Or if you don't know who your baby daddy is and you go pin them on somebody. Everybody, I don't care if the daddy signed the birth certificate, you need to get a paternity test. Because you just got some dudes out here that's just all around good dudes and they'll sign a birth certificate. Then you find out when they 21 and the kid need a kidney. Oh, well, my blood don't match. Well, why? Because you ain't the daddy.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question. So are you saying in the modern age now, women are cheating just as much as men?
Shit, we cheat more. You just don't know it. I'm just saying. And I'm not.
There it is.
I'm not saying all women, right? Because just like all men don't cheat, all women don't cheat. But you give us a reason, we sure gonna give you a run for your damn money.
Now, let me ask you this, Corliss, with that analogy, would you say that the outcome between men and, because we're different, we have some of the same mannerisms, but we're different species, the outcome is always different from a woman than it is a man?
I can't say always, but a lot of the times, yes. Because one thing I know about men, Men don't get emotionally attached. Women do, right? So some women, you don't want that attachment because that attachment is crazy. So you just have to know who you're dealing with.
I mean, I always say the men are cheating with somebody, the women are cheating with somebody. So, you know, I don't think that women cheat less. I don't think that men cheat more. It's, you know, probably about the same. But Corliss, I think I agree with you, really, because I want to put this out there. I've never cheated. I never have. But the women I know that have, boy, they some clever people, boy. Like most time, yeah, the men never know. You know how y'all never know? Because the women don't change up their routine. You gonna have your dinner on the table. She gonna be where she's supposed to be. She, you know, you ain't gonna know it, right? But it's men. Y'all completely do a 180. Stop doing everything you was doing. Stop coming home on time. You dip it off, you know, in the bathroom on the phone. And when back in the day, they used to wear the beeper on their boxers around the house. You know, that kind of why you don't want to lay your beeper down. What's going on? Right? You got to take the phone in the bathroom, you know. But women, oh, I'm just going to the store. I'll be back. I'm going to my mama's house. You know, we're going to go clip some coupons and we're going to go to the store or whatever, right? But yeah, y'all men, y'all sloppy, but women, they crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you that men are sloppy. And I'm going to say why. Why is this? Because they have found right now a third of all paternity is not the father. So again, the outcome is different because when women get caught, when you guys get caught, it's a lifetime mistake.
Sometimes
a third of all paternity, the father is not the father now. And they're finding that through, and that's why women are fighting so hard to stop mandatory DNA testing around the United States.
But the other part of that too, go ahead.
I believe I'm just telling you, not from my personal experience, but I have somebody that is very close to me. Very, very close. Okay. And I almost want to say, boy, bye. And I've said it out loud, like for real. We talking about exchanging money every month. Just, you know, and I'm just like, you need to do a swab, some blood. You can look at them and tell there ain't no kin. None. At all. But because you don't want to ruffle no feathers, you're going to keep on. Shit, honey, that cheese would have been a grilled cheese. That would have been stopped.
Black America says, Miss D, men know they just don't say anything in fear of being alone or losing their stuff. No. Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of men don't know because, as I said, I know some women who are, boy, I tell you, I was working, when I was at work at Frito-Lay, I learned a lot of stuff at Frito-Lay, boy. And the factories, that's where they really be cheating, right? Because they be having work husbands and wives and stuff. There was this one girl, she was so cold. Her man worked at Frito-Lay and her boyfriend worked at Frito-Lay. Her husband worked on the second shift and her boo thing worked on the first shift with her. And, you know, she be cupcaking with her boo thing on first shift. When her man come in on second, hey, honey, how you doing? You know, he never knew. Everybody else knew. I was like, damn. Yeah, she ain't switched up. She ain't giving him the reason to think, you know, anything going on. And right there at the same factory, under the same roof.
Look, I'm gonna make y'all laugh. So today, I'm going through, you know how memories pop up on your phone? Woo! It said, tap if you want to uncover. Oh, Lord.
No.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
I ain't never forgave you for that. I ain't never forgive you for that. Never.
Not just that one, but the other one too in the club.
I'm never gonna forgive you. When I say, "Ooh, boy," I'm never gonna forgive you for that one. Never.
See, some things people just should not keep when they know that they doing wrong, Donovan. Cause see, when you got Inspector Gadget over here, oh, I'm gonna find out. And don't think just cause your face, cause soon as you go to sleep, guess what I'm gonna do?
Right. But we got to remember the internet is forever. Once you put it on there, it's never coming down.
Look, I didn't intend for it to. That's why I put it up.
Yeah, but Donovan, you said, and I'm looking at you guys' comments. I'm scared to open up the link. Lord have mercy. But you said, basically women who cheat, they I guess pay a heavier price for it. But there's a lot of men out there who cheated and started babies outside of their relationships too. Right. It's never a great feeling when your wife be like, ring, ring, hello, you mother. I got some the mail came from the child support office talking about you done father the baby. What the? Yeah, that's not a good conversation. Yeah, so when you're out there creeping, sometimes you get babies and
Yeah, but the thing is, men are always held accountable. We're always held accountable.
How are women not held accountable? Because I keep hearing that. How are women not held accountable?
With the ways that the laws are. An example, and I know you're going to come back with, well, the men make the laws, whatever. No, not necessarily, whatever the deal is. Because here's my problem with the way the laws are. I don't think a side chick should have the same rights as a wife. I don't believe, and that's one of the problems, because now there's no difference between the two, right? So they're giving these rights to the side chick as if she was married. And the reason why men are always held accountable is because at the end of the day, again, these laws were made because these guys were making side chicks and families on the side and then leaving their wives for the younger model, and the wife left as destitute. I'm all for the men taking care of their responsibilities, but there's thousands of cases where women have found out that the guy is not the father, but he is still being held to the accountability of supporting the child because that's what's best for the child, even though DNA has exonerated him and says he's not the guy. But because he's been paying child support for so many years or whatever the law is, he can still pay it. And everybody knows that that's not fair. But yet they say that is what is in the best interest of the child, that the man continues to pay.
Well, and before I give it to you, Corliss and Tiger, how you doing? You're absolutely right. A side chick doesn't have the same rights as a wife to children do. And that side chick cannot be a side chick if the man didn't make her that. The side chick only becomes that when he steps outside his relationship, messing with her raw and putting a baby up in her. You're going to assume there's responsibility of doing that. If you make a baby, you should pay for it. Now, yes, there are some cases where men, I would say a lot of cases, are on the hook for a baby that's not theirs. But that's why they always tell you, be sure before you put your dipstick in her. Raw, especially, and no contraception is 100%. The only thing that's 100% is abstaining from doing that, right? So if you do that, it is a possibility that it's yours. Then yeah, you're gonna pay for it. And the other thing too is that's why if you dipping up off in these women that's not your wife or somebody you can't see spending your 24 years, because in some cases, right, you got to pay all the way through college. Then don't sleep with them or research the laws. Okay, I want to sleep with Big Booty Susie in Connecticut. What are the laws? If she gets pregnant and the baby is not mine, am I going to be on the hook for said baby? But see, it could all really be so simple. But unfortunately, a lot of men do the thinking with the little head and not the big head, and then want to complain on the back end where you can just zip your pants up or don't unzip them in the first place and say, no, I'm good.
No, and I agree with you. But again, this is about accountability. Men are always held accountable for what we do. Unlike women, a lot of women.
No, you're not.
Wait. A lot of women, you make a mistake, you have a baby, and then they're in there again, and they have another baby, and they have another baby. They're never held to the accountability. A man can have a bunch of kids, and then he goes to jail because he's not supporting them. But a woman could have a bunch of kids, and she ain't supporting them either. The state is. She's never held accountable. But the man is. What's that story? That guy in Tennessee, he had 30 children, and I think they ended up locking him up.
But the fact that he got to have 30 children before he did it. So that one thing is, it says that the women are a little bit silly, but why would a man want to put 30 babies in women he ain't with?
Again, and he was held accountable. At the end of the day, he was held accountable.
At the end of 30 children, he was held accountable.
Women
it's
are
not like-
never held accountable.
Nah, that's a
They're
lie.
never held accountable.
You're dealing with
Never.
absolutes. That is not true. Women are not never held accountable. Knock it off. Corliss?
Most women are not held accountable.
So let me give you a story of someone that's close to me, because this is my aunt, right? She had her son. This is the crazy thing. So the father, whatever, wanted the son to come stay with him, right? She allowed him to. That was their agreement. The father wasn't even raising the kid. She got a call from a whole nother woman that the man was messing with, her baby daddy, another woman. The grandmother called her and said, hey, you need to come and get your son because he lives over here with this other woman. So how do you go get your son to live with you, but you ain't raising him? You over here and marry somebody else. This is a real life story. Marry somebody else. They're in a whole nother relationship. His son over here with the ex, right? So now you get a phone call to come and pick your son up. She goes and gets him, brings him out here to Texas many years ago, okay? Because she filed for child support in Texas. Do you know this Negro filed in the state of St. Louis? And wind up, because he had connections in the court, he got the baby, he got the boy, he's a teenager by now, right? He gets him. She has to bring him from across state lines back to St. Louis to give him to the daddy. Then they put her on child support for the time that she had him. I said, what kind of foolishness is that?
Well, Demetra had to pay some child support. They held her accountable. So I was glad about that.
And that's why I always say, and I was ordered to pay it, but I didn't pay it. But
deadbeat, right here.
I wasn't a deadbeat because my daughter has never not been with me. I was never an absentee parent. Let's just get that straight. I was ordered to pay twice, and I didn't. Well, once they garnished my wages, and then I fought them for 2 years, and guess what? They gave it all back to me minus $50 for an administrative fee. But that's why I say
it helps when the FOI is down there putting pressure.
But that's why I always say that's not true. I know quite a few women who are paying child support. You know, whatever. Now, is it more men paying child support? Probably. But to say that women aren't held accountable, and I also saw somebody say, which is true, the women is being held accountable because she has to take care of the child. And like somebody else said, yeah, you paying money, but try taking care of that child 24/7, and you sending a check every 2 weeks or once a month. You're not doing the heavy lifting, but I do agree it takes money and, you know, presence to raise a child, but to discount the woman is not being held accountable. Hell, the minute she conceives that baby and she has it and she takes on the duty of raising that child from the cradle to the outside of the house, that's called being accountable.
Right. Okay. I'll give you another scenario. Why is it that a woman can get pregnant, go to a fire station, leave the child, and she can walk away? Right. A man who gives, and there's been stories of this, is at a sperm bank, gave sperm or whatever at a sperm bank to a lesbian couple, and then the lesbian couple break up. She goes back and asks for child support on the guy. I don't know how she got the name or whatever. That was an actual story. And he was held accountable to pay child support.
Now, I ain't never heard nothing like that. I don't have any intel.
Story, yeah.
I don't have any intel on.
Yeah. But my point is, in general, men are always held accountable. No matter what we do, we are held accountable.
Is that when you say that story is an anomaly, or is that the norm?
Well, the thing is, I think if I remember correctly, in that scenario, they weren't supposed to give the women information on the fathers that donate whatever, and something had happened. Yeah, where she had pressure or she knew somebody that worked there, whatever it was. And they went back after him for child support when he was supposed to be able to walk away.
Well, that's not normal, right? Would you say that most men who donate to those banks that's not the normal situation?
Yeah, it's not the norm, but the point is, we know that woman knew the job was dangerous when she took it, but yet this man was held responsible for something that he had something to do with, but he didn't have nothing to do with.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't have any intel on that, but yeah, you might want to get some information as to whether somebody can come back and do that. Again, that's not the norm. But yeah, women are held accountable too. You know, we're talking about degrees or the what accountability. Yeah, everybody's held accountable. I know I was held accountable. I laid down and had my child. I was held accountable to raising her, and I did that, right? But that's accountability that you're supposed to be doing. Nobody had to make me be accountable. But a lot of times when people, men or women, are put on child support, they have to be made to be accountable when they garnish your wages. It's like I was saying with me having to pay child support. It was a lie from the pit of hell that I was absentee. I've never been absentee a day in my daughter's life. First time they garnished my wages, they gave it all back to me, like I said. Second time we went to court, you know, and he said, I don't have no job. And the judge was like, well, he don't have no job. What do you want him to do? So they ordered me to pay. I did not pay. My daddy said, let me know if he collect one dime. It'll be the last one he collect. So I did not pay him at all, you know. So when I hear that, oh, it's men, it's women too. Now, I don't have a problem taking care of my daughter, but I've never not taken care of my daughter. My daughter has been with me all her life, most of her life. Now, our dad, you know, took care of her as well, but she was never outside of the care of me, her mother. So no, I was not going to pay for something when I was already paying for 100% of everything. So I know that it unfairly happens to men, but it also unfairly happens to women as well. So, and I agree that there does need to be an overhaul of the system in regards to child support. There's some people who have been forced to pay a whole lot of money. There's some that's not paying any at all. I don't know. But yeah, it's not just the men. So let's see here. Get to the comments. And Tam, but see, they don't want to have that conversation because I always ask that, who make the laws? It's men. But that's going, you know. More threads, how you doing? Says, hey, y'all, I'm a little behind today. What's the chosen topic? We just talking about everything right now. The average logical thing, it says, wow, but that's one story down. I mean, yeah, that's not the norm. You know, person donating some stuff and then the people suing for child support is like, that. I don't know. Quita says, just giving their kids away for money. Yeah, some dudes do that. Like, I'm broke, right? So a lot of dudes got a lot of kids running around here, but they could do that. Thank you, Miss Sweet Talk. She says, great discussion. And Puppy says, I have heard of those stories like that too, but are they the norm? No. I'm not saying that they don't exist, but is that the thing? Because if that was the norm, it wouldn't be not a piece of sperm left in no sperm bank because dudes wouldn't be doing it. And that's just a fact. Quincy says, sounds like the police after shooting an unarmed black man. We don't have all the facts. I don't know what that means. Let's see here. The average logical thing says, did y'all watch the meeting with RFK and Killer Mike? I had a secondhand embarrassment. No, I did not watch that. I guess I need to. Puppy says, Pan. I'll say talking to Michael. And King David, the one how you doing, says, are guests able to call in? You are. All I ask is that if I have not seen you on here before, show me your face before I bring you up. Also, if you have nothing pertinent to add to the conversation, you know, please abstain from doing that. But right now, we're just kind of having an open topic. So give me a second and I'll share the link. Yeah, Brina, they're not the norm. Yes, I'm gonna pin the link right now. Yeah, logical thinker. Thank you for reminding me that. So yeah, that donation story, if you will, is not the norm, but everybody is held accountable. Like I said, you know, I think there's a lot of mamas out there be like, shoot, okay, you take the child, I'll pay you $50 a week. I garnish my check for $50 a week, and yeah, you go off and raise the child. You know, since you talk about how I'm not being held accountable, give it your best shot. I guarantee you'll happily trade that $50 a week and give that child back to the mama. So I get it. All right, so let's see. Let me share the link. Go ahead, Corliss.
Well, I bless my kids, Father. I didn't put them on child support. For what? You're going to lose your license. You ain't going to get a job. You ain't going to, either you going to help or you ain't. And I ain't need the white folks to make them help, because once you put them in there, majority of them, well, I won't say the majority. I take that back. One, he quit. So I just relieved him. You wasn't doing nothing no way. So, hey, it was what it was. I had 7. I did it. So 7, 1, daddy helped, and that's what it was.
Yeah, and there's some women who do not put their child's father on child support. I was one of them. In fact, the last time we went back to court, the judge looked at the case and said, "Oh no, you owe her child support." Oh, he was like Rumpelstiltskin spinning around. But I never collected it, because I was making more money. My thing is just take care of your daughter when you're supposed to do that. Leave me alone. Don't cause me no problems, and we good. We good, because I too believe if you are making more money or whatever, the father is struggling. Okay, you don't need to berate the brother over the coals. However, I do not think that you should be out there not doing anything. And I'm not saying that that's what it is, but I'm saying I don't think you should be out there not doing anything, talking about I got hard times or you got to understand. Who gonna understand if I don't keep a roof over this child's head, put food on the table, make sure it's got clothes? Nobody understanding my situation, but I'm supposed to understand you. You trying? You sending $20, $10, $5, a bag of groceries, something. But you can't just be out there as a fully grown man making children talking about I'm on hard times. Well, who the hell ain't? Everybody on hard times.
Right. Agreed. I put in the chat the article that I referenced a little bit. So if you guys want to click that chat, if you don't think it's real or I just made something up, there was actual cases going around where that actually happened. But this is about accountability, not child support. So again, everybody's held to accountability. But again, I personally believe women are not held to the same standard of accountability as men are held. And that's just me.
Brittany says, I heard of kids searching for the siblings and sometimes the donor father, but kids want to know and the donor should know he's taking that risk. Yeah, and I'm hoping that they tell them that, hey, there's a possibility that the child or whatever come looking for you. If I was a man, I wouldn't be doing it. Then, of course, there'd be a lot of women out there or couples looking to have a baby who wouldn't be able to do that. So it's just kind of a catch-22, Tam said, isn't it the goal to make as much money as you can to take care of your family? I would think so, right? Potent Pondering, how you doing? Enlightenment says, I would rather see the man in jail than out on the street and not taking care of your child. You're saying you would rather see that? Or is that you're saying, is that, what people think? And forgive me for misunderstanding your comment. Oh, Puffy, you finally agreed with me or something. I don't know what it is, but all right now. The average logical thing, it says I had several men encourage me to file, and I did, and he's paying, and we're grateful. Yeah. If that's, and unfortunately, the child support system is there because there are some men who won't pay. As we know, men, hell, y'all could create a copious amount of children a day if you was, having relations with different women every day, all day. Y'all could do that, right? There's no limit to the amount of children you can have. So with that being said, there's some men out there that just have a bunch of children. It's like, I ain't taking care of the child,
But here's the funny thing about that, though. When they reinvented the child support laws, notice that our parents' generation and our grandparents' generation exempted themselves from back child support. Because how many of us in our generation, and you remember that, Demetri, we had friends that the dad wasn't there, he's in the streets or whatever the deal is. So it ain't like it's something that started with our generation. But notice that the baby boomers and the silent generation exempted themselves from the very laws, because there's a lot of us that were raised without our parents that are running around here in our generation, but they exempted themselves. Notice that.
Yeah, and I don't know, before child support laws came into existence, yeah, I'm sure the same things were going on, but, then the child support laws came in because, for one, I guess the state is tired of taking care of children. I don't know, right? But again, and I know there's some women that no matter what the man does, he's a good dude, he wants to pay, she's going to put him on child support regardless. But then I would think there's a lot of women and men who are like, nah, you are shirking your responsibility financially taking care of these children, and I'm going to put the man on you. Put the, white man in your life so that you pay me something.
Yeah. And then again, when the crime bill was done in 1995. Guess who signed the new child support law? I believe the new child support law actually hit in 1996. And it was written under basically the same foundation as the crime bill. It incentivizes states to go after fathers or parents who are not the custodial, and the federal government will match for every dollar that they recover. It's almost the same foundation of that gives them the incentive to go after that money, and the federal government gives them a portion of what they recover.
You're talking about as far as child support collecting,
yeah.
Quincy says it's the women sleeping with 30% of the men, but don't women, especially in our community, outnumber the men? So, I hear that a lot. Oh, there's 30%. The women sleeping with a small percent of men. Is like, well, there's more women than men in our community. So why don't we ever have that conversation? Are we just interested in just, not necessarily about saying this about you, Quincy, just spewing off stuff we read on the internet, but we don't plug in the other factors to that? Because that's like saying, oh, the other 70% of brothers, they just ain't sleeping around. They ain't having sex with nobody. It's like, knock it off. Michael?
The 70% of us are responsible with our tallywhackers, and we're covering up and whatever else. So yes, the 70% of us, we are the responsible ones. Yes, that's pretty good.
I'm gonna let you tell that lie on the Lord's Day. Michael, what's on your mind? How you doing?
Hi, Dimitri and Donovan. Hi, everyone. How you guys doing?
We're doing well. How about yourself?
Okay. Sorry for the controversial statement 2 weeks ago. So just wanted to.
Oh man, we have forgot all about that.
Okay, just want to make sure we're clear. Okay, I'm going to read it just very quickly. In the comments, I created a contract. It's very specific to a Black agenda. It's about 13 items, and I just borrowed it from a YouTube channel called Savvy Sabs. It's a veteran who was on the show and created a contract. I'm sure Donovan received my email, but I'll go very specific quickly. So if both parties...
we don't need all 13 points. Just give us the highlight.
Okay. I'll do my best to summarize.
Nah, you're going to do better than that, brother.
Okay. I'll summarize.
Give us the highlights.
Okay, here's the highlights. Okay. But I'll definitely email to you so you could take a look as well. Okay. That's fine. So I said, if both parties care about cash parent reparations for foundational Black American descendants of slavery, FBO ADOS, please adhere to the following terms of the contract. Failure to issue cash payment reparations, donations to be returned to voters between 20% and 50%. No lip service. If they sell out their constituents, both parties need to be challenged. Both parties need to pay volunteers at least $2,000 for canvassing, text banking, and phone banking. Must cut the check within 30 days after being elected to Congress. The IRS electronically deposit checks to FBO ADOS bank account, and politicians must donate 60% of their checks to Black Americans, and qualify immunity within 14 days. Pass anti-Black hate crime bill for Black people. Pay prisoners at least 30% of lost wages before being released from prison time. Records need to be expunged immediately before releasing prisoners.
That sounds like you're giving 13 points, and I asked you.
Sorry, I was just summarizing, and then I said at the end, please sign at the dotted line below a contract, because every day we sign contracts at work when we do business. So that way, it's going to hold politicians, accountable between today and tomorrow. So somebody has to start if you want to move the train forward. Thank you.
Okay, Michael, I'm going to answer this thing real quick.
Okay.
Here's the thing you got to understand. The president has been told by the Supreme Court to do certain things, right?
Right.
When Donald Trump was in office, he is the executive of the laws. He executes the laws, right?
Correct.
Why is it that some presidents can say, I'm just going to ignore what the Supreme Court says? The Supreme Court has no power to enforce what it is that they decree. It's up to the president to do it. And that's where the crux is. We can write a contract all day. The Republicans did it in the 90s, the contract with America. How many of us remember that? And when it came down to it, did they uphold the contract with America? No, they didn't. There's no way to enforce it.
Right, but I'll say this, but at least one of them got out of the office after signing a contract and not keeping their promise. At least it's a way to keep them to hold them accountable, to monitor how they vote and what they vote for.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Michael, for coming up here and saying that once again. We appreciate you. Please come back and see us again.
Anytime. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Black America, what's on your mind today and how you doing?
Good afternoon. How you doing? You ready to get jiggy next week?
Actually,
Ready to get jiggy out here?
it's the week after that. I got a week ahead of myself, so I'm a week ahead.
That's right.
Oh,
That's why
okay.
she's got the hair and she's getting it all ready to go. Stepford wise.
That's good. That's good because it's raining out here today. Well, it's cloudy. It's not raining. Hello, how's everybody doing? Good afternoon. I just wanted to say shout out to Corliss again. Come up here dropping bombs on these heifers. I don't believe all heifers either, Corliss, but I had to say something because Miss D, I don't think you understand what Donovan means by like a small percentage of men being able to bed all the women and have all these kids. So you were saying something about 30%. It starts to be this dude with the 30 kids or whatever. Now that's ridiculous, right? I don't know what he was doing or how he was taking care of his kids, but I know that in the 80s and the 90s, it was brothers, especially brothers that was in the street. They was doing that because, we didn't know if we was going to be alive the next hour or the next day. So that's why a lot of brothers was living like that. Doesn't make any excuse for it now, but it's still the same thing now. Women will have sex with a small group of men that they deem, what do you call it, Donovan, sexy or whatever? Hammers. Y'all used to call them hammers. My big sister used to call them hammers back in the day. You know what I'm talking about, Miss D? Oh, he a hammer. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. It's just Donovan ain't knocking down nothing. You gotta have a man that most women are attracted to.
Okay. That was painless, huh? Okay.
It's some look, Black America. It's some real unattractive hammers too. Ask me how I know.
Don't start, Corliss. Don't start.
You are so nasty. All right. I didn't know that there could be unattractive hammers though, but yeah. So I thought that was for the good looking guys because Demetra is about my sister age.
I don't know nothing about these hammers you talking about at all. That's a new term to me.
You never heard that term?
No, because I wasn't out there looking for no hammers that everybody else was using. Okay.
D, my hammer was exclusive for a while. Did he?
How long?
She is so nasty.
I have 4 children by the hammer. Okay.
Right. King David, how you doing? First time. Glad to see you here. Oops, let me unmute you. There you go. What's on your mind?
Black and highly favored. How's my family doing?
We're doing fabulous.
Good. Yeah, and this actually isn't my first time. This might be my this might be my second.
For real? Okay, then it must have been a long time or a while.
Yeah,
okay.
No doubt.
Got you. So what's up?
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
All right, can y'all still hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, so sorry about that, because like I had the YouTube live stream in one channel, then I'm backstage in another one, so it was like overlaying each other. It's going crazy. But okay, anyway, no, so in light of the topic, when my brother Donovan says that it's a small number of hammers in the community impregnating a lot of women. One of the things that bears witness to that is one of the latest episodes of Ayana Fix My Life. Did y'all see that? It was one brother. His name began with a J. Anyway, you can find it. It's on YouTube. He had like impregnated like 28, like
I
11
know what you're
women
talking
and
about. Yeah,
28
this
kids.
was years ago, and it was like he had like 30 some children.
Yeah, you know,
I
and
know,
then
yeah.
yeah, it was like it was like a 3-part series or something. And some part of the series, they were all in like the in like a studio with a large studio audience or whatnot. Then it was like 4-5 other brothers that they didn't have as many baby mamas or children as he did, but they still had a lot, you know. And it was like getting back down to the entire reasoning of it all, and it's, you know, like many of the degenerate practices that we engage in now, it all goes back to the plantation. And she even said, she said this to all of their faces. She said, "You are not a slave producing more children for the slave master. You know, you are not a stud horse, you know, to be doing that." And you know, she went and got deeper on that subject. But and I also wanted to say, firstly, I always enjoy the conversation. That's why I can't wait to hop on. I love seeing y'all, you know, kicking it the way we ought to be kicking that real talk. But it kind of reminded me of something that just ever so slightly reminded me of something that I thought we stomped out last year, which was, you know, the gender war, right? You know, like talking about like who's held accountable more between men and women. It started like slightly treading on that, and I was like, But no, I do think that we have, for the most part, kind of stumped that piece out. You know, I see it. I'm not saying that this was one of them circumstances, but I'm talking about like on social media. I see it kind of surfacing a little bit here and there, and I'll be attacking it every time I anytime I see somebody posting something like, "It's $30 enough for lunch?" I troll them. I troll the hell out of the post. Like, man, I ain't even trying to hear that shit. Excuse, pardon my American English, but yeah.
No, I agree with you. I think it is starting to go away a little bit. It seems like for the last couple of years, the gender wars, especially in the Black community, it was just horrible, right? It was all over the place. Of course, we more than likely know there are some other esoteric things at play, like agents. You know, them folks, a lot of times they'll put things into our community and say, "Okay, fight over that."
All the time.
You know, yeah, we take the bait. So I'm glad that it is starting to die down a little bit, although it does rear its ugly head every once in a while. But I think what helps too is Black people saying, "Hey, you know, Black woman, Black man, we need each other. Let's cut all that nonsense out, because we cannot build a nation without each other. It's just not going to happen." So, but I am too glad that it seems like it's remnants here and there, but not like it was.
Yeah, no doubt. Last thing before I go,
Sure.
are y'all privy to Tariq Nasheed's new documentary he got coming out, the Microphone Check, talking about the origins of hip hop? Oh my goodness. Oh my god, because I don't know if you've been catching this, but there's been kind of a cultural attack on the genre of hip hop, as far as you know, who originated it, and you know, where did it, you know, like really start at and stuff. And it's been like a lot of Latinos, Fat Joe being a prime example, saying silly stuff like Blacks and Latinos created hip hop 50-50. He said that on some BET award show and walked off. Nobody ever explained it, anything like that. It's this cat named Joe Cologne, Dr. Joe Cologne. He been running around repeating that stuff. He's recently got into a debate with this guy named Truth Savior, and dude, he's an FBA. He spanked him on who really originated it. But reason why something like that is so important is because if you can, whatever happens to somebody's culture, that's what happens to that people.
And I agree with you. So I have not. I've heard of the documentary, but I have not watched it, obviously. And I've also
it's not out yet.
Oh, okay, that's why I haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen and heard a lot of discourse between Black Americans and everybody else in regards to who has created hip hop. I think it's no doubt that Black people have created it, but I think the conversation really should be who controls it. We don't own hip hop. Yeah, it's ours, but ownership means that you have control of the masters and, you know, how it goes and how it's dictated. We know them folks have always had control over it. And so just like with the Communist Manifesto that was written so many years ago, it tells us that the powers that be, the bourgeoisie, I wasn't trying to rhyme, bourgeoisie, the ones that owns the means of production, they keep us, the proletariat, busy with politics, race, who owns hip hop. The women don't like the men while they're moving the money at the top, right? So we can have that argument about who owns hip hop, who created hip hop all day long. But as long as we ain't controlling that bank account, that of the billions, I would imagine, of dollars that hip hop generate every year, then we're just having a conversation. You know, and the other thing too is we as Black people, we get mad at everybody else, but we should really be mad at ourselves because we don't gatekeep anything. We invite everybody to the cookout. Let a white woman get on TikTok and do a dance to some Black music. Oh, look at her. Oh, she coming to the cookout. She bringing the raisins and the potato salad and all this other stuff. Instead of saying, all right, as a white woman dance, and we Black people been dancing and doing it well for all this time, but let one of them do something just a tad bit mediocre. We snatching our wigs off and all kind of stuff. So as long as we are, we don't own and control anything, and Dr. Claude Anderson has talked about it, Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, this is not a new idea, but as long as we don't control anything, we just bumping our gums.
Right.
When we tell them folks, nah, keep your sexy reds and Cardis and all the drill rap, and we don't want none of that, and you know, we writing checks, and see, they could give us a 50 year anniversary hip hop celebration, but I can't remember who it was. They asked, but what did that do for Black people?
I think it was Dr. Umar who said that.
Yeah. So did Black people get enriched because of that? Oh, look at all the money that Black people, not even the artists, but Black people have supported hip hop and all of that. I mean, hell, hip hop is my generation, you know? So when I hear, you know, the younger people talk about, like, what you talking about? That started with our generation, you know? But there's a lot of money that has gone into the hip hop. But how much of that do we have as Black people?
Exactly.
Those people were rich, though, Miss D. Those rappers, Run DMC, LL Cool J, Big Daddy Kane.
Okay, wait a minute. We're talking about a very small amount, but I know that I think it's Nas and a couple of other people have created foundations so that they can help Black artists like Rakims and all that. They have given them money and said our greats, our pioneers who started this rap stuff should not be running around here broke without teeth. MC Shan, hold
on.
Wait, no.
Hold on. I got something very important to say. Hold on. Rakim is one of. Okay.
Let me listen. Give me a second, okay? The point that I'm making is art legends. Now, I would imagine Rakim is not broke, but as one of the founders, the very early, you know, on, and Rakim to me is one of the greatest ever do it. He should be as wealthy as them folks that's controlling hip hop, but he is not. So we also know that there are some people, I guess you can maybe call them the gatekeepers, not all of them, but some, you know, that are wealthy. But what about the rest of them? You got white people, men and women getting into hip hop. They've been in there 2 weeks and they wealthy all of a sudden. They, you know, got all this say so. They invited to the picnics and getting all these Grammys and stuff. Those are the people that's benefiting. So as I said, as long as we don't own and control hip hop, we just arguing. Now, what you got to say, Black America? You there?
He's on mute.
You're always going to have somebody at the bottom. You're always going to have somebody at the top.
Okay, I totally agree with that. But again, what we arguing about something we don't control for. We don't have any control over hip hop at all. It's arguing. It's arguing. Like I said, let's start gatekeeping. Let's start keeping what's ours. Yeah, there's been Latinos, Puerto Ricans, whatever. You cannot have the conversation about hip hop without them. They have done contributed a lot to that. I mean, you can't have the conversation about hip hop without the Beastie Boys, and they Jews. You know, there were some people could say the pioneers of hip hop. It's just a fact. But hip hop belongs to Black people.
Period.
But we don't gatekeep, and we've given it over to everybody else, and now we get the celebrations.
So country western belongs to white people. Why is Beyonce on their side of the fence? But see, that's what you're saying. That's what it sounds like to me. Like, real talk, that's what it sounds like to me. Hip hop belongs to Black people. It's music. Country western is music. Jazz, tap, ballet, I don't care what, it doesn't belong to anybody. Once you put something out there, it belongs to everybody. Eminem.
No, in hell, no.
No.
And I'm gonna say no because of this, right? First of all, beats, all of that stuff did not come from no white folks. Where you seeing white folks anywhere playing anything? That's just like for me, it's just like them taking over the patents for brooms and all the stuff that they know they didn't create. Why would you need a broom when you ain't sweeping no damn floor? That's the thing. We give them everything, and they don't deserve nothing because they take everything. When you go back and you read and you research, a lot of music, especially country, that didn't come from white folks. That was stolen.
I understand. I understand that, but who is the main characters in country? I understand the banjo was made in Africa and brung over here and taught to a white person, but who dabbles in it? You see what I mean? So that's where you start getting kind of sticky.
Dabble first. Go research.
It's also could say that Black folks trafficked in slaves first. We did a lot of things first because we've been here longer.
Black America, you trolling now. You trolling now.
How am I trolling? You cannot say that something.
Wait, hold on. And I'm gonna say some of y'all have asked me, is Black America really Black? I've seen Black America. He is Black. This is a Black man. This ain't. If I've never seen Black America, I'll be like, yeah, he probably, one of them folks. But no, this is a Black man. I just so we're clear. He's a Black man.
I was Black. No, I'm just saying. Once you put something out into the ether, once you put something out into the system, it does not belong to someone in particular. It's like how the Indians.
Stop right there, Black America. So why do people put patents out? So once you put something out in the universe, right, and you patent it, that belongs to you. Some of us at that time did not know how. That's why they came out with the poor man's patent, where you mail something to yourself, you never open it, and then you can prove that it is yours, right?
Right. Certified.
So
Yep,
no,
I got you. But the whole thing about it is, the whole thing about it is, who has a patent on rap? You see what I mean? How are you going to patent a whole genre of music? To me, I don't know. It just doesn't seem fair to patent something that everybody uses. Everybody uses it. I understand that you're upset that Black people don't make most of the money off of it. I understand that part.
And so what you're saying is, that's like saying, well, Elon patent Tesla, and it's not fair. We should all be able to just go make Teslas, and you go make a Tesla and see what happened to you.
Oh, okay, because you're gonna be throwing up.
No, did he patent it? Did he patent it?
Okay, let me
now.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
All right, hold on, because now it's getting silly season. Okay, JBWR, how you doing? So Demetra, how would one gatekeep hip hop? Well, it's our talent, and I think we also need to understand that a lot of times when artists sign contracts and things like that, a lot of times it comes from a place of poverty. I don't have no money. Maybe I don't have a good contract lawyer to read over the contract. I believe these record companies or whatever are going to do right by me or whatever the case is. But we need to gatekeep it by realizing that it's our talent, right? Stop selling it out for next to nothing giving them folks all the rights to our stuff, because if they own the rights, then they get the right to tell you what to do, how to do it, and all of that. And the other thing is, Black America, you saying, you know, it's not fair that everybody else can't have it. It's our stuff. And if these good old white folks that you like to defend all the time are so great at everything, why they got to steal everything we got? Everything we got, they take and they make the money from it. And the cold part about it is the JBWR. The other thing is,
I don't defend white people.
Okay. JBWR, the other thing that we can do is stop spending money with them to buy our own stuff back. That's like, you know, somebody steal a bike off your porch and then they roll by saying, I got bikes for sale. And you say, oh, that look like my bike. Well, it is. I'm going to sell it back to you. You know?
Well, let me just add this real quick. You guys notice that it's always, these industries always prey on the young and inexperienced and almost nothing artists. And why they do that is because these young people mistake fame for wealth. They want the fame. And the companies give them the fame. You can have the fame. Oh, look, there goes so-and-so. Look, there's your fame. But they never give them the wealth. And that's where the education of how the industry works should be so important. Because when you look at our athletes, people like that, other than like LeBron James, and people are starting to get it, where do most of these athletes, sports agents are? They're Jews. All their sports agents are Jews getting 30% of a contract. I'm doing all the work, but this guy here is getting 30% of my rookie contract. And we know, let's talk about the NFL. I'm a running back or I'm a wide receiver. I will last less than 10 years in the modern NFL. This guy has already taken 30% of my rookie contract. Done. So again, I think the problem is it happened to TLC. It happened to Tony Braxton. It happens to all of these young artists that come in. They mistake fame for wealth.
Yes, indeed. And King David, were you going to say something? And then I'm going to give it to Keisha.
Yes. So that's gatekeeping hip hop. That's that's part of what our dear brother Tariq is doing with the documentary, like with the debates that have been going on. It's about gatekeeping that, because hip hop is a part of history. Hip hop is one of the most influential forces on the planet now. And
it is the influence
of us, you know. So if somebody can take something so powerful that we developed in terms of a culture and say that no, it was actually you know, Latinos who did it, and even Italians. There's articles out there suggesting that even Italians played a part in creating hip hop. Like that's something else that they're taking away from us, and we can't allow that to happen, because again, history is important. Hip hop is a part of history. So,
absolutely. Keisha, how you doing?
Hi guys, how are you?
We're doing well. What's on your mind?
So I am so glad you guys are talking about this. I really feel deeply about this because my grandfather was a Calypsonian, and this is like back in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. So I'm originally from the U.S. Virgin Islands. I grew up in the DMV, but I'm originally from the U.S. Virgin Islands. And back then, Black artists, even though he was an American citizen, he couldn't come to the U.S. and make his albums. He had to go to Germany to make his albums. And what really hurts me is that we as a people sometimes don't understand how our artists are robbed, and how their music is robbed, and how their whole personas are robbed. And it's the same thing that happened to our faith. And we don't sometimes make the correlation between the two. Like, this world isn't different from one set of people and then another set of people, even going past race and time. People keep doing the same things over and over again. We see when Vladimir Putin pulls out like Black Jesus, and you're like, didn't we all know that? Well, we may have known it, but other people willfully didn't want to know it. And so they had this renaissance where they did this thing called iconoclasm, where you break a religious image, or you break a faith image and turn it into something else. Well, that's what literally happened to our music, and that's what they're trying to do again. Hip hop is definitely a Black art, and we cannot allow this to keep going on. We really have to start spending our money with each other and stop worrying about being rich fast and about building the community. Because if we keep selling ourselves out and giving our souls away, we really can't have anything else for ourselves, because we've given it to everybody else to profit over. I remember when they did that PBS special on hip hop, and like they were talking about Africa Mambata and what is it? The Fab Five. What? Forgive me. I'm losing my
Furious Five.
Yes, the Furious Five.
4+1. There's so many great groups.
Yes, and how they were like, no, we don't want to go to these. We don't want to sell our art to these white companies. Let's build our own companies. And the younger artists was like, we're selling it out and we're moving on. And then they got screwed over, and then they got screwed over by other Black people too, who were willing to sell it out. So we really have to start. I don't know if the gatekeeping is the word, but it is the same meaning. We have to start building from within and stop chasing the money and start really protecting each other. So I'm gonna jump off now, but I just felt so strong about that because of what I know my grandfather and the people of his generation went through.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for always coming on here and being a voice of wisdom. And they said she has a lovely voice, and I totally agree.
And I love your hair.
Oh, thank you. My daughter calls it birthday hair, and I got a week ahead of myself. My birthday is not for like 2 weeks, so
that's all right, girl.
You
just blessed our souls.
Shave your head and be natural. Damn it.
And I love every iteration of your hair. So let me just put that out.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, hon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yes, indeed. So I'm seeing who we have up here.
Great discussion. Keep it going.
It is very good discussion. I'm just looking at the comments here. Brina says it's not admiration either. These people are saying if we can't do it, then what makes you so special? Absolutely. And Jai says, cool her. Yep, one of the pioneers, if not the pioneer, right?
Yeah, last time I saw him in the Erykah Badu video. Remember, he was on the bus when she was getting on the bus at the end of the song. But he always has some great videos.
Oh yes.
Oh, the hip hop love of my life. Yeah.
So somebody said Cool Herc was the pioneer.
One of them.
Okay.
He was one of them.
Because there was an issue surrounding that, because Cool Herc came to America when he was like 12 years old and didn't really start getting busy DJing and stuff until he got older. But hip hop was already going on, though it hadn't got his name yet. You know, like in 1967 there was a brother named Pigmeat Markham, and he got the song called "Here Comes the Judge."
Yeah.
He was rapping on that song. Before hip hop had a name, he was rapping on "Here Comes the Judge."
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I just kind of, when I hear the discussion, I'm like, wow, we gonna argue over the time of day at 6 o'clock in the afternoon too, huh? Like, we gonna argue over everything. You know what I mean? And I'm one of those people, you know, I don't really talk about it, but I have a degree in communication and a master's in public relations. And so I'm one of those people. I'm like, I want to have discussions that matter. Now, sometimes I have, a lot of times, I guess I should say, silly conversations and stuff. But when I see a conversation like this happening online, I'm like, well, who is really benefiting from all of that? We just arguing. I'm one of those people, like, I do spend time online because I work online, but I like to be productive offline. So I'm wondering, if we're online all the time, arguing about this, that, and the other, what are we doing to be productive for real? You know? And I know for content creators, I'm just not one of them. I don't make a lot of money off of social media, just being honest with y'all. But I know for a lot of content creators, they do keep everybody riled up and arguing back and forth and all of that. And I'm like, well, what is it for? Who's really gaining from that?
Yeah, and the conversations we do have, they definitely got to be productive. They got to set records straight, and there has to be marching orders after them. Like, and I'm not saying you saying this, Mama, but when I hear certain brothers and sisters of ours say stuff like, "Man, black people do too much talking. All we do is so we love talking." Whoa. Man, white folks, these politics, you ain't ever watch C-SPAN. Man, C-SPAN, they get in that room and they talk for hours and hours and hours and hours about what they're going to do.
What the white folks talking about, though?
Right. That's what I'm saying about what's the agenda moving forward.
But what is that agenda netting them ultimately?
Oh, keeping them on top.
Come on now. Yeah. Right. So in that, because I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm not saying they don't have silly conversations. They do, but on C-SPAN, which I think is terribly boring. Sometimes they talk about some things, but they talking about how to move the money, whether it's legal or illegal, and whatever. Again, that is capitalism, right? That's what they do. Those people at that level, usually the 1%, they talking about moving the money. They like, let the 99% argue about hip hop and black and white and women. Let them argue, because they don't care about that. All they care about is moving the money, which is why a lot of times we talk about the Democrats and the Republicans. Oh, they care about the money. They don't care about the people. Especially here in America, they don't care about people. They care about the money. So I'm not saying we should always have conversations that get us money, but is it going to help us move the ball? Yeah. Whether it's how we think, how we feel, like what are we getting from it? And I know originally when social media was created, it was just to have a silly conversation. Oh, I went on vacation. Look at this picture. Look at my kids. Look at my dog. But it's obviously moved past that. So a lot of conversations we're having, I was especially saying in our community, is not moving the ball. And so the other question I would ask, and maybe I can ask it to everybody, once we wrestle, the conversation of hip hop belonging to us from them folks, then what?
Let them eat cereal. Anyway, I want to say this. We're talking about country music real quick, and I'm just because there's the Beehive out there, right? Everybody is so afraid of the Beehive. Don't say nothing about Beyonce. Don't do nothing about Beyonce. Them white folks called Beyonce out at the Country Music Awards, and the Beehive was nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. I was so disappointed.
That's a lie.
I was disappointed.
That's a lie. Beehive. Well, let me tell you, I'm not even in the Beehive. I like Beyonce, and I do love her new album. But originally, when she came out with her country song, 16 Carriages in Texas Hold'em, it was a very popular country western station in Oklahoma wouldn't play it. Do you know the Beehive got on that ass? And they said that they had not used their Twitter account in since 2018 or something like that. And they got to that Twitter and says, oh, we got Beyonce's new record coming right up because the Beehive clogged that doggone phone line and they played her record.
They forced them. They forced them to play it, though. That doesn't mean they want to do it.
But guess what? Beyonce is the first Black woman to have a #1 hit on the country and western song charts, and probably gonna get her first Grammy. Not that I care about that, but for Record of the Year and a whole host of other things. So you ain't gonna tell me there's not power in numbers, but that Beehive is unmatched.
Right now, let me get this straight. She's nominated for the Record of the Year in country music.
She probably will be.
Yeah. Because isn't it funny? And I'm not a Beyonce follower or whatever. I don't know what that all is about. But I know she's been nominated for Album of the Year several times. Has she ever won in our community in the categories of Album of the Year? I know she's won Grammys, but I know for a fact, correct me if I'm wrong, has she ever won Record of the Year?
She has. And like you talking about like the Essence Awards and the NAACP.
No, the Grammy. The Grammy.
No, the Grammys. Remember, that's what Jay-Z was talking about.
Yeah, no, she has never won Record of the Year, but she is the most Grammy winning artist in the history of the Grammys. So I think.
So D, my question would be, why you think she ain't never won Album of the Year?
From what I've heard, and again, I'm not a Beyonceologist or nothing. That's because she doesn't predominantly. She doesn't predominantly write her own music. She has a team of writers, and often a lot of people that have won, they write their own stuff. Like I think it was last year, Bonnie Raitt, who I love. She won. People were like, we didn't even. Who was Bonnie Raitt? We never, even knew she had a song. Bonnie Raitt's writing credit said Bonnie Raitt. It didn't say Bonnie Raitt in half of the phone book. Then, you know, no shade to Beyonce, but she has a lot of people writing her music. So I think a lot of people are like, yeah, well, if it's album of the year, which I guess it could be a great album. I think they kind of say the whole writing thing is the issue. So I don't really know. Don't get me to lying. Yeah, he says, I wonder if Taylor Swift can accomplish that. Taylor Swift has her and one of the person that she's been writing with since she started on her, I would say most of her music. So Taylor Swift is one that pretty much writes all of her own music too. So, you know, I'm speaking above my pay grade with the Grammys and stuff. I don't even really watch them at all. I did watch them this year. I ain't gonna lie, because my girl Victoria Monet was nominated, and I really do love her. So I wanted to see her win. She won 3. But other than that, I could care less, to be honest with you. Brother Don, how you doing? He says that's what Kanye was talking about when he clowned Taylor Swift. You crazy, call it Taylor Slow. But then again, those aren't our awards. That's their awards. Why is we as Black people, we get so wrapped up into the validation that they give us? Do you really care? I don't care. You know, if they see me or we just get so happy. Ooh, them folks,
I got something to say on that.
Sure.
All right. So the problem is that we used to have the BET Awards a long time ago. I don't know if they still do it or not.
I think they
but
do.
I know. Yeah, I haven't watched one since Michael Jackson threw his hat into the crowd. What was that? BET 25 or something? It was beautiful. It was bad. You know what I'm talking about, Donovan? I stopped watching award shows that long ago because, I mean, I can't watch white award shows. I don't listen to any of that music. I can't. And you guys are talking about Beyonce. I've never even, and the two men are on the panel. I don't know if you guys have ever even bought a female's album. I've never bought a female album, rap or I think I bought an Anita Baker tape when I was a kid. You know, it came with my Houdini friends. But you know, I think what it is people are seeking these award shows gets them to sell more to different types of people. It puts their music out. You said some Janelle Monáe or something. I've never even heard of that person.
Monet. I was gonna say, one second, Mike. You know what? I saw that and I meant to say something. Thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you. Says artists like Lisa Fisher. Watch out. What you know about Lisa? Who sang "How Can I Ease the Pain"? I believe did not want to sell themselves for continuous fame. Yeah, she was actually Luther Vandross's one of his background singers. But go ahead, Black America. They said Victoria.
Yeah.
Monet.
So, okay. So I've never even heard of Victoria Monet. I wouldn't know who her song was or anything like that. So, you know, that's something that would be completely off of my radar. So when people get on those shows, they're basically selling themselves to a larger audience, so that, like Killer Mike sucks. Everybody knows that Killer Mike is a horrible, supposed to be rap artist, and he's been rapping for 30 years, and I probably could put out a CD that sell more albums than he's ever sold today. So if people sell themselves to the and guys are not going to go back to the days when we were young, when Too Short and people like that was selling CDs out of the trunk of their car. They have to get on these distribution places. That's all.
All right, got you. So Thunder, you say you buy women's records, Sade, Etta James. Yeah. I know men who have purchased ladies CDs.
Come on, Sade. When was the last time anybody even seen Sade? That's what I'm talking about.
Now you're moving the goalpost.
No,
because
I said I bought an Anita Baker. I said I bought an Anita Baker. Okay. But I'm talking about recently. He said Etta James. Etta James ain't been alive for 40 years.
When is the last record Anita made?
That's my point exactly. Men do not buy. Huh?
Oh, you know what, Black America? Okay.
No, I'm serious. Donovan is co-signing for me. We don't buy women music.
Okay.
Maybe a long time ago, yeah, but he's not riding around bumping no Cardi B.
First of
Wait
all,
a
ain't
minute.
nobody buying no music because you can stream it now. So what are we talking about? Mike says I bought SWV albums, Cut Close, Mesa. What you know about Mesa? Says Anita Baker, Vesta Williams, Shaka Khan, Lisa Stanfield.
Oh, they gonna be out. They gonna be out here next week too, Miss D. If you want to go to that concert too, you want to go to that concert?
SWV.
SWV total. SWV total 702.
Okay.
It's like it's Escape. Yep, all of those groups.
Yeah, sure. I would love to. Yeah, Black America, you be wilding. So anyway, let's see here. Brene says we don't have radios like we used to. Once I got Sirius XM, I started some good music being made today. There are some good artists out there. Yeah. How many of y'all know who Masego is? You're welcome. You're welcome. Google Masego. Theo Croker. How many of y'all know who he is? You're welcome. I'm putting you on to some good music.
See, you listen to that. You listen to that. What is it? Neo soul? What genre is it?
Theo Croker is definitely jazz. Masego could be considered jazz, but he's R&B. He's all of that. Thundercat. How many of you guys know Thundercat?
Nope. That Jamaican dude.
I don't
know. The Jamaican dude.
He might be Jamaican.
I know the Jamaican dude, Thundercat, named Thundercat. Yeah.
I don't know if he's Jamaican. He's definitely here in the States. And he's played on a whole host of people stuff. I've actually seen him live. I've seen Masego live. I want to go see Theo Croker, and these are young cats, too. By the way,
but
most
people don't listen to that music, Miss D. We've had this talk before.
Him does. That's by Masego, and it's who is the group that he's with? He's actually with somebody on that. Oh gosh, it slipped my mind. But yeah,
did you say Kim?
No, you don't know who Kim is, but no, I didn't say Kim.
No, I said most people don't listen to that genre of music anymore. It's like it's going out very badly. It's like it's a dying art form.
Well, I'm one of those people. Yeah, Donovan, Incognito, love Incognito. I'm one of those people. I listen to everything, right? I don't normally listen to I listen to some mainstream, but I listen to everything. And these people I mentioned, if you love music, these are some of the people that you should know. They are putting out excellent. When I say excellent music, I mean excellent music. Victoria Monet is one of them. She's been out for a while, but she's up until recently was most notably known as Ariana Grande's writer. So she wrote many of Ariana Grande's Grammy Award-winning songs and things like that, and she's had work out on her own. But this particular album, Jaguar 2, really got into the mainstream. But her pen is unmatched, and her production unmatched. She's one that really writes with her and one other person as well. So let's see here. True Essence, how you doing? It says Terrence Martin, Fonte, and Eric Robinson. Yes, I like Fonte of I just slipped my mind. Big Brother, little brother. Tripping, little brother. Let's see who else y'all talking about. That's my brother group right there. My little brother, little brother. He likes them. Lucky Day, that's my guy right there. That's my guy right there, boy. I love, and yes, Robert Glasper. He is one of the great modern day pianists, if you will, jazz artists. Love Robert Glasper. Yes, Thundercat.
I guess this is why I can't date older women. You guys would drive me crazy with the music choices that you have. I couldn't get down with it.
These are young people that I'm talking about. Thundercat is not. I don't even think a Thundercat.
I'm talking about the women that's common. I don't see any men. Once again, I have to stay in my peer group, which would be either Donovan or this young man. And have you guys heard of any of these the person that Demetra named? I know you have, Donovan, because you hang out with Demetra. You heard her music?
Well, who, Lucky Day? Who?
No, not Lucky Day. Who's the person you named, Miss D?
Victoria Monet. Y'all all heard a song On My Mama, On My Hood. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? That whole album, when I tell you that whole album and Jaguar
the rap song.
Well, no, she actually took his and gave him credit. He's in the video and all that. He also won the Grammy for that. She took it and made it into a song. So check it out.
No. Okay. So let's go back. One second. So young man, have you heard On My Mama singing? Is it singing or is it rap?
No, it's a singing version of a rap song, and it'd be viral. Like a lot of sisters, they'll take like a pretty picture with it and then have it in the background and be like, "On my mama, on my hood, I look fly, I look good." Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, and how old are you, young man? Not to be all in your business.
No, you good, man. I'm pushing 32 this year. I'll be 32 in September.
Oh yeah. See, there you go. So that kind of explains it.
And I know the song, so stop it.
But you're a woman, though. You're a woman, and he's a young man.
That song jumps with these young male and female. I see it. My grandbaby.
You said young.
Even beyond.
You said young. I'm 50 though. I'm 50. He's 32. He's like the same age as my kids. Some of my kids is his age.
Are you under a rock?
No. Hey, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Look here. Have you seen the older lady, Black American? Because if not, I'm gonna find you on social media and I'm gonna send you this old, and she way older than us. Okay, they a whole married.
What old lady?
She probably my grandmother age, and she's in the bathroom talking about how she getting ready for her hot date with her man, and she know the song.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So no, it ain't just these young folks.
Once again, it is a woman. You guys don't. It's like Corliss. Like I know you know who Scarface is, right?
Let's just do this because you know what? I'm sweating. See, I'm hot. I'm hot. Okay.
You got pit water.
I do. Ain't no shame in my game. I sweat. I've been working all day.
I'm just saying, not a lot of men listen to women music. I'm just saying that. Not a lot of guys listen to women music.
Hey,
guess what? They've been listening to some because that's how they made some of these babies. It wasn't the men that was singing because you got caught up in the rapture of love, and we got a few kids on that one. So
I mean,
come on now, Babyface. You got that whip appeal.
Hold on. I remember I couldn't have been no more than 12 when Anita was singing with Channel 8. I just want to be your girl. I couldn't have been no more than 12 when that came out. So we listen to older music and stuff all the time. I mean, Anita Baker is a little bit older than me, but I remember, listening to the Rapture of Love. I was like 15, maybe 16, and we were listening. Keith Sweat, all of them, like the deep R&B cuts, Luther Vandross, and so they were a lot older than us. So, but maybe our music was just a little bit more mature back then. I don't know, but anyway.
Demetra used to love to sing "Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent." Gwen Guthrie,
Betty White. Oh, there was plenty of people listening to the Cleanup Woman.
Listen, I just learned not too long ago, and I was upset to learn that Marlena Shaw passed away. My mama used to wear that damn song out. Go away, little boy. Oh, that was my song. And then I found out she died a couple of months ago.
Well, it's almost like, remember the group Starpoint, the lead singer of Starpoint, Object of My Desire? That woman was so fine. Woo.
Yeah, and you could have been no more than 12 when that came out.
Yeah, about 12.
I want to point something out, family. Like, I mean, and this is pretty commonly known, but it's still so tragic to me, man. Like, you notice for the most part, 60s, 70s, 80s, our people, we used to make music about we used to make music about how much we loved and adored each other, man. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah.
the Isley Brothers, Switch, the Whispers. You know what I mean? All of that was like, even like Aretha Franklin. All of that was and I can't remember who this was, but I know this was the 80s. That you make my love.
That's
Evelyn Champagne King, produced by Kashif.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Then you had Cheryl Lynn. You know, but it's like when you creep up into the 90s, and I'm a 90s head, so I love the 90s as well, because that was some pretty dope music. But it's like that's when things kind of started to turn and be like, talk about how quick you'll kill a nigga.
Right. Yeah, we need to get back to those love songs so we can start being nicer to each other. But you know, we could be here all day talking about music and all that, because I really love. Maybe one day we'll just dedicate a whole show to talking about music. But yeah, I remember as being a kid listening to, you know, some real oldie but goodies. And I remember like the first memory of music that I had was of my dad, and he played War. All day music. And you know, that's like one of my earliest memories. And what's the name of that song? Oh gosh, I can't think of it right now. Woo, it's gonna come to me when we get off of here. Yeah, it was great back then that he was listening to. So anyway, Dusty, you say I met Tracy Spencer in person. I love the hell out of her. Tender kisses. Yep. She's still around. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my baby Elle DeBarge with DeBarge and King David. You mentioned Switch.
Stop it. Okay, look, Dimitri be trying to give you guys this thing that you know, she's this totally different person. Dimitri used to roll around talking about the Bonnie and Clyde thing. I'm down for my nigga. I'm doing my thing.
I am. I am. Okay. I like it all, but yeah, we need to get back to that good music. And you know, a lot of people, especially if you're from California, Sundays is considered oldies day, right? We bump our oldies summer the Sunday evening or whatever. So I like to do that from time to time. But anyway, we could be here all day. Alonzo,
Art LeBeau.
Yeah, Art LeBeau, R.I.P. Alonzo says DeBarge was tough at Switch. Yeah, and they wanted Elle DeBarge to try to mimic that of his brother Bobby, and he was like, "Oh, I can't do it because they'll never be another one like Bobby DeBarge." And so yeah, the Switch was a lot older than me, but I remember all their songs. In fact, I got their album sitting there by my TV right next to DeBarge's album. But anyway, we're gonna get out of here. No, I wasn't sea walking and low riding. I was who riding. I'm just playing. Anyway, we're going to get out here. Love and appreciate every last one of y'all. We will see y'all on Tuesday for the podcast and the live show. So you guys have a great evening and enjoy the rest of your evening.
I'm going to leave y'all with one more. Just a song recommendation. I ain't going into anything. Just a song recommendation. You probably never heard it before, but I Owe It To Myself by the Gap Band. Look up I Owe It To Myself by the Gap Band. That's a jam. All right. That's all.
That's the assignment. All right, y'all. So we'll see y'all later.
Happy Easter.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Bring a K day. All right, y'all. Peace out.
Peace.
Oh, wait, hold on. I thought I ended it. Hold on. I was about to start talking.